what do we always do? We do the
next question.
Next question.
Yeah, ask me anything.
Did I not make us go live on YouTube?
No.
Proof
Nope,
positive.
I got you. I looked out. I was like, that doesn't say live.
What are we doing here? Okay. Hi to everybody on the live stream now. At 1:25 p.m., we always do next question. It's just basically our Ask Me Anything, and you can ask us anything right here. And the best way to do that is to go onto the Annie Fry YouTube channel and leave a comment. So I know that a lot of you have questions about my trip to Washington, D.C. So this isn't going to be particularly featured. If nobody has a question to ask, we don't need to spend time doing that. We'll ask questions like, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? So if you don't want to listen to that, send your questions in. And Brad and Ryan might have questions as well. I might have questions for them about what it was like back here while I was putzing around Washington, D.C., and they were doing everything they can to make the show great in my absence here in St. Louis. So if you do have a question, it's great to just get onto the Annie Fry YouTube channel and you can leave it in the comments, and we set those comments aside and feature them a little bit later in the show. So stay tuned for that at 1:25. At 12:25 today, we are going to talk to Grasser Electric, one of our two sponsors of the Washington, D.C. coverage. Grasser Electric came on and wanted to be a part of this, and we wanted them to be a part of it. So it was a wonderful partnership. And I'm excited to have them in because, Brad, you were talking to them a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah.
And there's have you ever lost power in a storm this year?
This year, not this year.
Did you, Ryan?
The power has flickered where we've lost it for a couple minutes, but not lost it.
Power outage where I grew up was a theme of my childhood, though.
It seems like it happens less these days, but we're going to talk to Grasser Electric about those things that you don't know that you can do to protect yourself from the things that happen, in storms, or if there are lightning strikes nearby. Also preparedness, like generators and those types of things. So Grasser Electric, partner with us on the Washington, D.C. coverage this week, is going to be in here at 12:25. So if you have questions for Grasser Electric and preparedness and generators and all of that stuff, hit us up on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, leave those comments there, and maybe we'll work them in the conversation next. Did you see, Ryan, the interview that took place last night on Jesse Waters' show, which I will say, do you make any appointment watching for Fox News at night, primetime?
No.
Do you, Brad?
Fox News primetime? Certain ones, yeah.
Do you go, if you didn't see it, do you go back and watch it?
No. If I see
do.
it live.
If you see it live?
I watch it.
But then how much do we consume in clips?
100% for me, because this interview in particular has been I actually was seeking out the whole interview because I watched so many clips that I wanted to see what else I was missing, because there were so many good clips that came from it.
They posted the whole thing on YouTube this morning, the DOGE thing with Waters, and I went back and I watched that this morning as I was getting ready, or listened to it. But
did you have your jaw dropped the whole time?
Yeah.
Is the DOGE, what DOGE is finding out, are we numb to it yet?
Well, it's no, we're not numb to it at all, because the two factors that they keep finding is, one, the ridiculous things that were being spent on that we still didn't know. We've been doing this for months, and they still are finding, there's something about marketing peas in Venezuela or whatever.
Guatemala,
yeah. Sorry.
That's probably a different study.
I'm sure they'll find these other things. And then sometimes the numbers get you, because there are times they're like, they spent $1 million on this, and you're like, okay, that was stupid. Well,
let's listen to, we've got several clips that we're going to feature here in the show today, because I think that this is really at least the top 5 things that this Trump administration is doing. Even if the number at the end doesn't get as big as maybe it was first promised or intended or whatever it might be, I annoy myself when I hear that they found $300 million somewhere, and I'm like, million with an M.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's exactly what I was saying.
There was a story like that last night on the interview, and I'm like, that's $1 for everybody in the country.
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody, it just seems we're so desensitized to this. Let's listen to the way that DOGE is uncovering how money is taken in DC from you, the taxpayer, and then how it goes out. If you find out, like you said, Guatemalan pea research, and I think that's PEA research. We'll have to get Ethan in here to check out.
Yeah, we'll find out
that's
later.
A deep cut. Listen to the podcast from yesterday. if that's the research, if that's the plan that is being funded, and they take in, let's use small numbers, $10 to fund that plan, how much of that $10 reaches Guatemalan pea research?
I think the Inter-American Foundation, IAF, is one of the agencies we visited where, they get $50 million a year, congressional money, to give grants. These are things like, alpaca farming in Peru, improving
that's a real example.
Yes, that's the real description. Improving the marketability of peas in Guatemala.
Really?
Fruit jam. And yes.
What? Yeah.
So you might expect, in the private sector, a nonprofit to give, 80 to 90% of their money to grantees. In the case of IAF, that was 58%. So the other half goes towards management, travel.
What we're find exactly, to Ethan's example is that even if you agreed with supporting alpaca farmers in Peru, actually most of the money never made it out of DC. Mm-hmm. It's going into the pockets of people in the neighborhood.
What percentage
didn't even get to Peru?
Right. So what percentage do you think doesn't even get to the destination it's supposed to?
I believe the GAO estimates, this is not our estimate, I believe it was on the order of only 10 to 15 cents on the dollar actually gets to the end recipient, whether you agree with that cause or not.
So they're just stealing the money before it even gets anywhere.
There's layers of stealing. So there's the first layer of stealing, second layer of stealing, third layer of stealing.
Subcontractor.
You start peeling the onion. Yeah, exactly. Contractor, subcontractor. It's like peeling an onion. And then maybe, and sometimes it's zero. Just flat, you get to the bottom of the onion, there's nothing there.
So maybe no one got a sex change in Guatemala.
So they're talking about how this funding works to go to these places that you end up hearing these wild things that are being funded by the American taxpayer dollar. And it turns out that in certain cases, those things are actually not being funded by the taxpayer dollars. It's the journey to get to there that is being funded. And at the end of the journey, there's nothing left. This is a scam. It's like a pyramid scheme where your taxpayer dollars are funding a bureaucracy that serves itself and not you. It serves itself in spite of you. And DOGE is getting to the bottom of it. So from an eye-opening place of understanding how our government functions against us, because it's so wide and it's so bloated, I think that the greatest asset that DOGE is providing, maybe even beyond the actual dollars that it's clawing back, is ripping back the curtain to say, this is how government functions with your taxpayer money. This is what they're trying to do. They've created a system in many cases in this, and I'm going to play another clip here in a second, in this interview with Jesse Waters for his Jesse Waters Primetime. They talk about how when they even ask for okay, so you're funding Guatemalan pea research. Take a picture of where you've been researching this. And he was essentially saying, once we just asked for proof of anything, they just stopped requesting money. This is not absolutely mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. Every time you hear it, you go, I can't believe the number of employees at these agencies that they didn't try to stop it, but they just don't care anymore. They're just spending because they get free money.
You say you can't believe it, but then at the same time you go, well, it checks out. It makes sense because like you were saying, to them, money isn't real because it's not their money. It's not something they're doing to earn it. It just shows up in the coffers and then they give it out, and that's their job. Okay, we're going to set these things aside for this. Go for it. Have at it. This much money has been set aside for that. Everything has to do with how the budget is structured in DC and in the government. And it just, you're shocked, but you're also not shocked.
Here's more. Elon Musk talking about some other things that they uncovered on Fox News' Jesse Waters Primetime.
So normally go around the table, say, what do we get done this week?
Want to go this way?
Sure. No, we start with you.
Sure. So actually, a lot of great work at the Treasury this week. One of the crazy things with regards to the Treasury is that when a payment is made, and the computers at the Treasury actually pay about $5 trillion per year, like crazy amounts, there was formerly not a budget code on there. So if a payment was made, you didn't know actually what it was for. It could have been for anything.
Yeah.
There was a $4 billion COVID fund in the Department of Education, and there was no receipts required. So people could just draw down on it. And when people looked into it, this wasn't us, this was before us. They found that money was being used to rent out Caesar's Palace for parties, rent out stadiums, et cetera. And so the one change that DOGE made with Department of Education is we had the simple requirement that if you draw down money, you must first upload a receipt. That was the only change that was made. You must upload your receipt. And upon doing so,
Yes.
nobody drew down any money anymore.
Yes, but we didn't say that we'd check the receipt. You could send a fake receipt. You could send a picture of your dog. Anything.
Anything.
And but as soon as we asked for anything at all, suddenly the requests were like, oh, we don't need it anymore. Huh, that's interesting.
They were renting Caesar's Palace.
Yes, they were like basically partying on the taxpayer money.
Stadiums.
Yes,
Leasing stadiums.
leasing stadiums
For what?
for parties, basically.
For parties.
Yes,
That's a big party.
it's a big party.
You'd think if you were stealing, you'd start small.
They do start small, but then what happens is over the years. So generally, the fraud starts out small, and they try to hide it. But then year after year, if nobody stops the fraud, it gets more and more brazen, and every year it gets bigger until they're literally renting out stadiums. Like
What's that, $1 million to rent out a stadium?
Fraud in flagrante delicto. Okay, we're talking.
Did he say pure delecto?
I think he did. I think he was referencing Mitt Romney's
I think
alter ego.
He's saying that Mitt Romney is at the bottom of all of this.
I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
What a scoop.
Nobody else noticed that fact except here on the Andy Fry Show.
Yeah. 23 Skidoo.
23 Skidoo.
I spent half of an Uber ride trying to think of what 23 Skidoo was. Like trying to come back up with whatever that phrase.
Oh, you couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember the phrase. All I could think of is skibbity doo.
Nope.
Sorry, kids. And
That's a new term. 23 Skidoo is from the 1910s.
No, I think skibbity doo is what millennial moms with high school and middle school aged kids say. Skibbity doo.
They think they're saying something cool.
Oh, man. I'm excited to get Josh Grasser and Jason Myers in here. Grasser Electric. Go to grasserelectric.com with any sort of electrical needs that you might have and find out how they can help you. I think that the preparedness when it comes to storms and, of course, like crazier, bigger things that we've talked about before, like, are you prepared for an EMP? Which, did we ever really explain to Ethan yesterday what the EMP is?
No, we just said trust us. You're fine. Go home.
I don't know if I'd trust you. You said you were going to start going to your neighbors and asking for food or something like that.
It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. There are a lot of things that you need to do to make sure that you're prepared. And I mean, storms, weather, that type of thing. You can connect with Grasser Electric and they can help you, but they can also help you in the case of an electrical emergency. They can help you also if you have an older home that needs to be future-proofed with electrical services. They've got a whole bunch of things that they do, and we're going to have them come in here and have a conversation about that when we come back after this break. Let's speak to Josh Grasser and Jason Myers of Grasser Electric when we come back. If you don't mind, if you got a question, Andy Fry YouTube channel, leave a comment there and we can ask it to the Grasser Electric guys. And here's the poll question for today. And this is a little soapbox of mine. And the only reason this is happening because Ryan pushed me over the edge to ask the question earlier this week. Have you had a flat tire in 2025? Yes, no, or more than one? I need to come out of this day with some clarity on whether the issue is as big as I think it is. So I need you to weigh in on the Andy Fry YouTube channel in the live chat. Let us know about your flat tire situation. Grasser Electric next.
This is the Andy Fry Show. The Andy Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Retirement Advisory Group, my friends Bob and Tammy Kershaw, also Thomas Helbig, of course, wonderful partners with us here at 97.1. And I'm so grateful with the Annie Fry Show to be partnered with people who are going to help get you through that transition into retirement. Boy, you've been thinking about this for a long time. I saw the market right before the show started. I think the Dow was it the Dow or whatever? Is it 41,000 points plus? Is it going to end the day that way? I have no idea. But if you're somebody who's looking to retire and you need to make some transitional moves right now, you can't every day be looking at the stock market fretting about what happens next. You need the folks at the Retirement Advisory Group to guide you through this time to make all the right moves. 314-993-9494. Come to our next Retirement Advisory Educational event, Tuesday, May 20th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to be there. Mark and Mark will be there with me. We get there at 6. The event starts at 6:30. We turn it over to the Retirement Advisory Group folks, and you're out of there in 45 minutes from that start of that event. It's a smart move. It's free. They have snacks. And I'd love to meet you. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Stop before you dig. Click or call 811. Every dig, every time.
Planting a tree, building a fence. Before you dig, contact Missouri 811. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. Submit a locate request at Missouri-811.org or simply call 811 3 days before digging. Dig smart. Dig safe.
Stop before you dig. Click or call 811. Every dig, every time.
It's the law. Sponsored by Missouri 811.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan and be ready for the first heat wave. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Am I crazy? Have I lost you? Even though I know you love me, can't help it.
Violent storms that threaten tens of millions of Americans this weekend, already wreaking havoc in parts of the Midwest. Missouri saw the worst of it overnight. At least 5 people were killed. The National Weather Service says at least 5 tornadoes touched down, including one in St. Louis. This morning, tens of thousands of people in Missouri are without power, and St. Louis County is in a state of emergency.
That was a CBS national report on last month's storms. And everybody listening, at least in the St. Louis bi-state region, knows that we've had some rain, we've had some storms, some warnings. And the question is always, how prepared are we to endure the next one? Let's welcome here onto the show Josh Grasser from Grasser Electric, and Jason Myers is service manager there as well. You can go to grasserelectric.com to learn more about these services. Josh and Jason, thanks for being in here today. It's great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
So first and foremost, thank you so much for partnering with us for the Washington, D.C. coverage. It was a pleasure to have you guys along.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're glad to be a part of it.
Let's talk a little bit about what people in the listening audience right now can learn from Grasser Electric, because I would imagine that you probably know a few lessons that you can help people learn the easy way rather than the hard way, especially when it comes to all these storms and damage that can happen to people's homes. How busy are you during storm season?
We get pretty busy, and it's good to be prepared. There's several things that you can do to kind of put that first line of defense out there and be more prepared. Jason, you want to talk a little bit about surge protectors and generators and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things we are seeing a lot here recently is a lot of lightning strikes, even if they're not directly to the homes, like towards neighbors and close by, that are really affecting these homes and their electrical systems. And there is protection out there that people can get. We're definitely making sure we're trying to be on the first line of getting whole home surge protectors, which can protect a whole
home surge protector.
Absolutely. It's something we can put onto your current electrical panel and protect all your electronic devices inside the home. We found plenty here recently where lightning strike was close by, and they lost their fridges, their TVs, their light bulbs, all kinds of things.
If you're plugging your televisions and your appliances and stuff into a surge protector and then into the wall, does this whole home surge protector eliminate the need to do all of that?
Yeah, that it can protect those things.
Or is it an extra line of defense?
It's an extra line of defense above and beyond. But we find people don't always remember to put the surge protectors in, or no. Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many new devices out there. The world's just changing, and electronic this, electronic that. You have computers plugged in, you have TVs. There's so many things you don't necessarily think about. Expensive things.
Really
absolutely.
Expensive things. I got to imagine, for somebody who's dealing with what you are talking about there, a nearby lightning strike, first and foremost, how close is nearby when it matters? Like, how far away can it be and still affect?
Honestly, when it comes to lightning, it's such an unknown. Where it could, how far away it could be, long distance away, and still jump your voltage in your house to like a higher voltage, or even something like it hits a tree line and your power line's connected to the whole neighborhood, and if it hits it the right way, it could surge power through the whole subdivision, and you're part of that. So, not having those lines of protection to help control that, or really becoming vital.
Can a storm, a lightning strike, that type of a situation, can it weaken your home? Can it make it so that, like, if it hits, like, maybe, we got out of that storm unscathed, nothing bad happened, but you don't realize that something has happened and you're kind of living on the edge right now?
I think it could. So we've seen some extreme scenarios where a home takes a direct lightning strike, and you just never know what took any damage. We've seen inside the home, away from the lightning strike, there's burn marks on the lumber in the attic.
You can see it.
Oh yeah. It's
that gives me goosebumps. That's scary.
It is. And there's a lot of things that you don't even think about that take surges. Your appliances. There's a lot of smart switches in homes now.
Yeah.
And those things aren't protected by your plug-in surge protectors.
I do a lot of home buying and some rehab. However, It may not be a secret.
Ryan.
I don't do anything. I will buy a house
That's
and then I
true.
will hire people like you to come in and do things to the house. And
It's not because you don't know how to do it.
Oh no, it's because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do anything. But whether it be with with lightning or just other problems that could happen, what is the difference between buying a house, and you could really pick any date, but we'll say a house from the early 1900s, 100 years ago, versus now? If you have a newer house, are you just way more prepared for calamity versus if you have a house that's even 50 years old? There's it all pretty much the same. Like there's really,
Well, it kind of depends. You're opening up a giant bag of worms. there.
Darn right I am, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Why don't you just give him the address of the home that you're asking about?
That's probably too big of a question.
When we bought our house in it was Hamel. It was built in 1942. Like all the wiring was going to need to be redone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things people you just aren't aware of out there. Like there's panels have electrical panels. Your houses do have expiration dates. The breakers, those are all made of plastic. I'm sure people.
Ryan's going, what?
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to hear that.
When I had kids,
Just don't tell the city.
Yeah, don't tell. Yeah. When I had kids, one of the things I found out, I thought, I could take my car seat, like, okay, we're going to have another one. I'll use that car. Not realizing there's an expiration date on these things because they are made of plastic, same as electrical panels.
And you get a firefighter to install that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to all those electronic devices, they do have age limits, and most panels are only really rated for like 20 years. So if it's over 20 years, your electrical panel, your house really is probably the specs on it aren't up to grade.
Does Grass or Electric do like checkups? Like, come to our house and tell us how much crap we're in. do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely come out and do a whole home inspection of all your electrical devices. One thing, besides surge protectors and looking at panels, GFIs are a big thing, protect you around your sinks, your tubs. And
can you tell when somebody tried to do something themselves? And
Absolutely.
Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
We're just saying this here.
Yeah, absolutely. We
do you take pictures of them and send them to your buddies and be like, guys, this is, you got to see
You've
this.
probably seen it all at this point.
Daily. It's just, it's wild out there. Some of the maintenance guy that may have came in that probably shouldn't be the qualified to be doing your electric work out there. There's tons of that out there. And we're like, ooh.
If people are getting electric work done on their home and they're looking to hire someone, what do they need to look for in the person that they're hiring to make sure that they don't become the picture that you guys send to your buddies?
I would say
just pose next to your work and leave a picture of it next to it so that Grasser can know who the culprit is.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that you just want to hire a company that's got a good reputation, somebody who's been there and is going to be there. We just had our 50th birthday in February. So we're a company that's been around a long time. Thank you.
Trust me, I know. Because I hear age jokes all the time as the guy who's 1 year older than the other people in the room.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
Yeah. And I just, a thing that I think people look for is the appearance. That you want to show up, whatever electrician you hire. You want that person to show up looking like they've done it before and have a
practical joke. Can you just send Ryan out a couple of times and we'll just film the reaction and then you can take over? So if people are looking to hire Grass or Electric, I'm sure that there are a lot of services that you provide. If somebody needs to put a light and a light switch in a room, is that too small for you?
Absolutely not. We will do whatever. We have people call that have a plug that's not working, or they want to add a plug, or just the smallest little job. We'll go out for any of that.
What about as big as commercial business? Do you service, that type of a project as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So funny enough, Jason's our service manager, but Jason came from our commercial side. So we do a lot of commercial work.
So you've been family owned here in St. Louis since 1975. And I think that it's a cool thing to be able to connect St. Louis listeners to St. Louis families who understand the area, understand the community, and give back to the community. You have a charity that I have to mention, the Loyal Order of the squirrels.
Correct.
And that begs the question.
Where did the name come from?
Squirrels, question mark?
Yeah. So my grandpa started that organization in 1984. And the thing about my grandpa is he's full of stories. Most of them change over the course of the year.
Do they get better, though?
A lot of them get better.
That should, if you're going to change it.
Yeah. One story, though, that I've always heard that's never changed is where that name came from. And there were a handful of guys that started the organization. And when they were trying to figure out the name, the story is that they were sitting in a bar there in St. Peter's, and one of the guys was like, they've got the moose, they've got the elks, they got all these different animal names for these charitable organizations. You're kind of a squirrely guy. Let's call it the squirrels. And so that's where that came from. And that's the only story that I've ever heard. And it's never changed.
That's great. I'm looking. And so what does the Loyal Order of the Squirrels do? What was the onus behind making something have to have a name?
So we give assistance to people in our community, a lot of children, handicapped individuals, elderly people, just really anybody who's needing assistance. Really, one of the things that it's not something we went out searching to do, but just by chance, we started doing these bathroom remodels. We had, people will either fight with their bathrooms, with their wheelchairs, and just don't have the means to get it fixed, or they've become handicapped and now they need some new accommodations. So we'll go in and we'll remodel their bathrooms for them,
to make them accessible
so their wheelchairs will fit in. We've done several where we'll do like a roll-in shower. We've done a couple of those walk-in bathtubs for certain people. Really kind of custom to whatever their needs are.
Do you do fundraisers to do this? Is this just part of your...
We do. We'll do fundraisers. We have several fundraisers throughout the year that are kind of staples that help us go through the year. For that type of stuff, we also get help from the HBA. They've been very generous over the years and help us out. But yeah, our fundraisers, that's where we get the most of our funding from.
That's a great way to give back. And you're doing that here locally.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. I'm looking at grasserelectric.com right now at the map of your service area. Can you define it for me a little bit? I see you go a little bit into Illinois and cover a lot of Missouri, St. Charles, St. Louis, Warren, Lincoln, Franklin, Jefferson counties.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're all over those areas. We do go into Illinois a little bit.
It's brave.
Illinois is a different animal.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Tell
is.
me about it.
It's so all over.
It's kind of squirrely.
Yeah. Right. Even around Missouri. So
yeah,
every jurisdiction you go to has got different requirements and different things that they kind of make you do. Yep. Illinois is a different one altogether, but
we'll provide the context later. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, we're all over the place.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and talking about this. And one other thing that I wanted to highlight before we leave is you provide generators and generator installation. Jason, maybe you can talk a little bit about that as well, because I think that's something that a lot of our listeners specifically, I really want a generator for my home. I'm looking to build a home soon, so I'm thinking about not putting one in the home right now and investing, because it's an investment, but boy, does it pay off in the time of need.
Yes, absolutely. And, you never know when that's going to happen. I mean, we're in Missouri. There's always storms. You never know when the crazy stuff's going to happen. So having those backup generators, I mean, everybody we've done those for, I mean, just love knowing that they're not going to go without power at any moment. We do have, some other options out there too. I mean, I know it is a big investment, but we also have some other options that are out there for as far as even putting generator plugs on the exterior of your home. So if there's an emergency, you can bring in a portable one, plug it in, go from there. Also, we even do some smaller stuff, some gas homes, if you don't have that ability to do the investment of the large one, we can do things like adding backup plugs in your home that will actually hook right into your air conditioner or heating unit. So if you have gas, you can actually still have heat if you have a backup generator. So
I didn't know that existed.
So yeah, there's all kinds of products and services that we can provide.
Yeah.
make sure you guys don't go off completely.
Something like that. I really think like if I were managing, if my parents were elderly and still living on their own or something like that, especially when it comes to heat, you want to make sure that is provided if you're not with them. To me, that seems like a really sensible reason to call Grass or Electric and say, and also for your home, of course, but if the focus of your generator installation on your home has always seemed too big to attain, just a hope and a dream, maybe a phone call might make you realize it's a little more in reach than you thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Thank you so much for coming in here today. We've got Josh Grasser and Jason Myers with Grasser Electric for your partnership with us on the DC trip. I am willing to make a commitment on behalf of the show that I will invest in a squirrel costume that Ryan will wear to help raise funds for the Order of the Squirrels. And I promise to buy it just a little too small.
Well, we appreciate that, and we were glad to help with that.
Of course, you appreciate that part. I've actually done things very close to that already, so it's not like
Unfortunately, I have a moose and not a squirrel.
That actually is pretty close to what will happen.
Thank you guys both for being in here. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care. If you're looking for anything electrical, you need to make sure you contact Grasser Electric and talk to them about how they can get your needs met. GrasserElectric.com. All the information is right there. Tell them you heard about them on the Andy Fry Show and 97.1 FM Talk. Wiggins America, be or not the beat, next.
Everybody wants a taste, that's why I still get jealous. You're too sexy, beautiful. Everybody wants a taste, that's why I still get jealous. I wish you didn't.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, Underdog Fantasy just became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their extender promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. You start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections, and now you can play in Missouri. You want to get signed up with your username and a password, of course, and then use the promo code MARKR. I'm going to guide you into that in a second. Millions of fans have won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be the next? And to play, all you have to do is download and then choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. And you can choose from things like points, assists, and more. Download the Underdog app and sign up with the promo code MARKR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code MARKR. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
I know this isn't why you actually hire a real estate agent, but it certainly doesn't hurt. But Tammy Dittamore and her staff are so fun. Does that matter when you're going through the process of buying and selling a home, that you're dealing with people who, when you get the phone call or the text message or the contact or you need to get together, that you're like, I love these people. I can't wait for the next meeting. That's going to happen when you look to buy or sell a home in the bi-state area with the Dittamore Group. You can go online to thedittamore.com and learn about what they've done, where they've been, what they know. But I will tell you that they are the number one team in the number one office in the Metro East. So when you call 618-531-4652, 618-531-4652, you're calling winners. And you're going to be winning when you partner with the people who are number one. They have 50 plus years of experience assembled in that office, and it becomes yours when you sign up to list your home or to look to buy your next home with the Dittamore Group. Call them at 618-531-4652. If you know that you want to sell your house immediately, or if you're just thinking, gosh, I've heard prices on homes are up pretty high, I wonder what we could get for ours. Have that conversation with the Dittamore Group. You might be surprised. 618-531-4652, thedittamore.com.
When you're hiring, Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is coming back to St. Louis on May 7th. Join us at Energizer Park for the round of 32 as St. Louis City SC hosts Union Omaha and plays for the historic trophy. Get tickets now at stlcitysc.com/Open Cup.
All right, this is the big question of the day, YouTube live chat poll. Have you had a flat tire in 2025? So that would be basically the first quarter of this year. Have you had a flat tire? Yes, no, or more than one? And if you have had more than one, we want to hear what the stories are. 12:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show. Friday afternoon, Mike Elam hosts The Mark Reardon Show. He'll be joined by Steve Butts, Ted House, and Gene Evans. They'll all make up this week's Reardon Roundtable. It all starts after Fox News at 3. The Mark Reardon Show. Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins.
The Bee or not the Bee.
I told Ethan yesterday I wanted him to play that specific song during Wiggins America, and thank you for following through on that.
Sure.
And then what did the old man just say over here?
What's this?
What is it? Was it Daft Punk?
I don't know. Ethan, would you say he's got dumps like a truck?
Truck.
Wait, is that song?
You didn't even know?
No, I did
just
not.
called me old. You didn't even know what it was.
That
you
was
were making
before
a joke
my
based on
time.
nothing.
A little
That was before
backstory.
my time.
We were at dinner Wednesday night after I got home. We're sitting around, and somebody at our table was talking about some sort of current song that's a little filthy, and my kids were like,
It's like
"Well,
half the songs.
that's not a good song. You can't play that." And I think my daughter said something like, "Have songs gotten more filthy since you were kids?" So, and the answer is like, "No, not really."
Yeah, they
definitely have.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's way more grotesque now.
We went through a lot of radio edits of Ludacris, 50 Cent, like all of the songs that we grew up with, like in high school. Like, Mom and Dad, why were we listening to these together when I was a kid? Why were these on the radio in the car?
When you guys say grow up, I always imagine that you guys were like,
I know, I'm
listening
thinking
to like
80s and 90s.
Careful.
Not
Careful.
Not stuff from 20.
Watch yourself, mister.
Go ahead.
No.
I dare
like-
you.
Bar the door.
because they're like, the Beach Boys and the Beatles.
No, that's our parents.
The Beach Boys.
The Beatles.
That's a whole generation above
Frank
us.
Sinatra, Dean Martin.
Yeah. How would you compare Nicki Minaj to Pet Sound by the Beach Boys? I would say production-wise, pretty similar.
I mean, when you factor in the technology at the time.
Right.
I mean, come on. Frank Sinatra slaps.
Oh, goes hard, no doubt.
I am offended.
Back in your day, when
But
you
you
were
have to-
listening to Wheezin' Jimmy Baloney in the
Weezer.
1930s.
Weezer. You know, Ethan, you know that we were like 90s kids.
Yeah, it just throws me off hearing
We're
you
90s
say
kids.
Ludacris and 50 Cent. Like
Those
that throws
are our
me
people.
off. I know that throws me off.
Like Nelly came about at the heart of when that music
Yes.
was relevant to our age. We are Nelly people.
Eminem.
Nelly might be one of us.
Guess you guys are just younger than
I did
I
not
thought.
listen to any of that stuff. Even when it was brand new, I didn't listen to that stuff because I was listening to stuff from across the pond that you'd only hear in underground
You
bars.
were listening to Rich Mullins and
Rich Mullins.
Ryan wants to talk
DC
about the
talk.
puppet again.
Didn't Rich Mullins?
The Newsboys.
Is that Awesome God?
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking it was the guy who sang the song about sunscreen. Let's do Be or Not to Be. Do you know the
Okay.
sunscreen song, Ethan?
No.
Do you guys know the song where he talks a lot and he's like, "Wear sunscreen"?
Yes, I
You
do
know
know
what
that
I'm
song.
talking about.
I do.
As ridiculous as that sounds, there's a lot of people going, "Yeah, what was that?"
It's just it's like a beat to a speech.
Yeah, it was a TED Talk in a song before TED Talks were TED
Yeah.
Talks,
Like, wow, this is so cool.
and before the internet. Be or Not to Be.
Trump shows off purple geode to tout Ukrainian minerals deal.
Ooh, I don't know. Real?
I'm gonna say B.
Ah, crap. I hate the ones where I'm half paying attention and then
pick
you
one,
say
Ryan.
I'm.
No, just go all in.
It's obviously the B.
I'll read it. You tell me.
All right, I gotta play music here.
Quote, look at this thing. It's fantastic. Wow, a geode.
The B.
No, I still think it's real. Is it the B?
It is the B.
I'm not convinced.
Trump said as he showed the nifty geode off to Vice President J.D. Vance, you think this is going to be all rock, and then, wow, there's a crystal inside.
You
Real
got it
crystal,
from the
J.D.
Smithsonian gift shop.
Purple and sparkly. Unbelievable. That's the B. All right, next one. Bad timing. Kilmar Abrego Garcia honored with MS-13 Employee of the Month Award.
B.
You're right. It is the B.
What gave it away?
Quote, here's what gets really good. Quote, this doesn't prove anything, said Paul Corbin, a spokesman for Abrego Garcia's legal team. Kilmar, a devoted husband and father, is truly honored to be recognized as MS-13's Employee of the Month, but this in no way gives any credence to the notion that he is or ever has been a member of the gang.
They just wanted to acknowledge his efforts.
We all know that companies give out Employee of the Month awards willy-nilly to anyone, not necessarily just employees. It happens all the time. Trust me.
The Employee of the Month award is photoshopped, guys. That's what we're missing here.
Obviously,
Ryan, I just thought you'd like to know that Nate Foy is on the television. Go
What's
on.
up, Nate? Can't hear me. It's on TV. All right.
We could keep going if you just want to stare at the TV.
He's so handsome.
You guys are saying it. I don't know what you're talking about. Trump taps Dr. Phil to lead new Religious Liberty Commission.
Real. He was there at the National Day of Prayer. I thought it was kind of weird that he was.
Liberty Commission.
Some say yes, real.
I'm gonna go on Annie's information here. If he was at the National Day of Prayer, that makes sense. So real.
I don't get what the humor would be in a B story about it, so I'm going to say real as well.
It is real. Move
All right.
over, Dr. Oz. There's a new daytime TV doctor on the Trump team.
What if we had Stephen A. Smith running for president against Dr. Phil? That'd be so fun.
2028 it's going to be a movie. A horror movie.
Next one. San Francisco premieres musical celebrating Luigi Mangione.
Say that again. Oh, no.
San Francisco premieres musical celebrating Luigi Mangione.
This is real because Mario Lopez tweeted about it and said he was struggling with the ethics of this one.
Wow. That's a deep cut.
Was he?
This is real.
Oh.
The musical comedy celebrating Luigi Mangione is premiering in San Francisco, of course, and it promises to be wildly irreverent, razor-sharp comedy that imagines the true story of Luigi Mangione, the alleged corporate assassin who shot healthcare industry executive in the back.
That is that story. Are we going to 5850?
Yes.
That story is it's super under discussed because there are so many big stories right now, but I think it's the most disturbing story in the news right now.
It might be because of the implications that it's heralding assassinations.
When you look at the left talking about the threat to democracy that the Trump administration is, first of all, we're a republic. Because we're not governed by a majority rule, which is what a democracy would be. We're a republic, which is governed by a governing document. You might have heard of it. It's the Constitution. So everything, regardless of whether it's the majority opinion or the minority opinion, has to be checked against the Constitution. Ergo, republic, threat to democracy, we don't have one. However, what I will say is if we have a majority, which I don't think we have right now, a majority of people saying that Luigi Mangione is an approved vigilante, that is horrifying. That is an actual threat to the republic. If a majority of people culturally are like, we don't like the guy who he killed, so we like the guy who killed him, civilization in the United States of America is over if we approve that. It's a terrifying story.
It's very true. Global birth rates hit historic lows with Elon Musk busy at DOGE.
Oh no, it was real until the end.
Real until then. I was to say the beat.
That's correct. This is the beat.
This is the reason, guys, that he's leaving the Trump administration.
He's got work to do.
He's got to save the world.
Quote, we've all seen what he's capable of, somebody named McPherson said. According to our calculations, birth rates will improve dramatically within 8 to 10 months if Musk steps away from DOGE. It's important to avoid being overly dramatic, but the future of human civilization itself likely rests on Elon scaling back his DOGE role.
One more.
With no pope to oversee them, Cardinals stay up all night playing GoldenEye and building pillow forts.
GoldenEye.
That's before your time.
That's real.
I know people my age who still have GoldenEye in their N64s in their place of dwelling. Ready to play.
Do they need any friends?
They like friends.
Just popped up on my timeline this morning. I had never seen anything about it before.
GoldenEye?
So how ironic that you guys bring it up.
You bring GoldenEye up around older millennial guys. You've got a
bunch of nerds.
Did we just become best friends?
That was peak life.
Where the first person shooter started.
All right, this is the thong song. Ryan.
Oh, okay.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
If it's time for new windows, there's only one place to call. That is Window World. Mark Cox here. Call my friends at Window World at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate today. If you have any questions, they'll be glad to send someone out to explain all of it to you. You can even schedule right online at windowworldstl.com. You know, there's a lot of high-interest financing out there, but here's what Window World's doing. Right now, they're offering 18 up to 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. You can't beat that. You also get a lifetime warranty that covers all of the parts, the glass breakage, and labor. Who else stands behind their product like that? Over half the appointments Window World will set this year are from previous customers or referrals from those customers. That is a testimony to their customer service, their quality, and their commitment to creating loyal customers. That's what you get with Window World. Call them at 314-993-1800, windowworldstl.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The president's priorities. Lisa Brady, Fox News. A Trump budget plan heads to Congress with $1.7 trillion in spending, including more than $890 billion in discretionary defense spending. But budget officials say the goal is to hit $1 trillion in defense spending by adding more in a bill already being written.
But not all Republicans are on board. Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Roger Wicker says OMB advisors were apparently not listening to President Trump's peace through strength messaging. Wicker argues including the $150 billion in a separate bill will decrease President Trump's military options and his negotiating leverage.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Details on taxes, tariffs, and spending cuts not out yet. The FAA investigating 2 aborted landings at D.C.'s Reagan National Airport because of a U.S. military helicopter heading to the Pentagon yesterday. The FAA says air traffic control told a Delta flight and a Republic Airways flight to perform go-arounds. Non-essential helicopter operations are restricted after January's deadly mid-air collision between a helicopter and a regional jet. The FAA says yesterday's incidents involved a priority air transport helicopter. An aid ship heading to Gaza catches fire. The Freedom Flotilla says the vessel was hit by Israeli drones in international waters off the coast of Malta. There's no independent confirmation of drones or Israeli involvement.
There's been a blockade on aid into Gaza, though, a form of pressure to get the remaining hostages released. It is believed 24 are still alive, including American Idan Alexander. Freedom Flotilla member Charlie Andresen said climate activist Greta Thunberg was supposed to be on the ship, but she was not and was safe. A Code Pink co-founder told the Associated Press that Thunberg and others had taken smaller boats out to assess the damage on the ship and that their goal was to continue on to Gaza.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. In Illinois, a landlord who killed a 6-year-old Muslim boy and severely injured his mother, just sentenced to 53 years in prison. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We should hit a high of about 69 this afternoon with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Got to keep an eye out, though, for some showers tonight. Partly to mostly cloudy, 51. Saturday, unsettled skies. Unfortunately, there will continue to be some showers and thunder showers from time to time. Nothing severe, 65. Sunday, partly sunny and cool with some showers, 61. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey guys, it's Mark Reardon. If you're struggling with low energy, performance issues, or weight gain, Game Day Men's Health has got you covered with testosterone therapy, ED treatments, and more in all of a relaxed man cave environment. At Game Day, you'll get a free testosterone test and consultation, all in just 1 hour. Game Day is the premier men's health clinic with locations in Chesterfield, O'Fallon, Missouri, and Glen Carbon, Illinois. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health.
Camping season is here, and it's time to get out and love the outdoors, starting with Apache Village RV at our open house in Hazelwood and our newest location in Wentzville. Join us on Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd in Hazelwood at 9001 Dunn Road just off Highway 270 and in Wentzville at 971 Wilmer Road just off Highway 70. Apache Village RV has been family-owned for 50 years, helping families create a lifetime of memories. Stop by our open house and check out over 200 new and used RVs from the top manufacturers like Jayco, Keystone, Fleetwood, and Bontrager Outdoors. Financing available with camper payments as low as $160 per month with approved credit. We will have raffles for prizes at both locations, huge RV savings, food, and drinks. Mention this ad and that you heard it on 97.1, and you can enter for a chance to win $500 to our parts store. Apache Village RVs. Commitment to you starts when you enter the door. Go one better. Go Apache Village RV.
Stuart's American Mortgage. He is the guy who has the bagel loan for you. And I want you to understand how much you can have confidence in Stewie when you reach out to him at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Stewie understands how to get you the greatest deal that you can get, the best interest rate you can get on your mortgage, and to make sure that you do get the best deal with the bagel loan, which means you pay nothing in closing costs. People will say, why does he call it the bagel loan? First of all, I think he's from New York and he likes bagels. But secondly, a bagel looks like a zero. That reminds you that when you use the bagel loan, you pay $0 in closing costs to get that taken care of. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Reach out to Stewie and talk to him about your mortgage, whether it's a mortgage on a new home or a refinance on your current mortgage. Stewie is there to guide you through the process. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The last I heard, and I'm going to check my notes and make sure that this is still the case. I was talking with Illinois State Senator Erica Harris yesterday, and I wanted to know about the mascot bill. So we how much of this did you talk about in my absence? The rally and all that.
A decent amount. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you were in Washington, D.C., so obviously we were focused on that. But I would say we mentioned it at least once each day.
Did you play any of the audio from it?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So the mascot bill, there are 2 bills that exist. And Kevin Schmidt, Illinois State Representative Kevin Schmidt, is the one who really nailed this down for me. There are 2 bills that exist. One of them is what Freeburg is involved in. The other is about Native Americans.
Oh, they're separate.
The one bill, I should pull up my Kevin Schmidt message here, but the one bill that the Freeburg folks are affected by, HB 3527, bans discriminatory disability mascots and requires schools to find new mascot name and logo by 2028. That's HB 3527. HB 1237 bans the use of native names, logos, and mascots, requires schools to find a new mascot by 2030 if the school sets a reasonable timeline to find a new mascot and name no later than 2026. So they're saying, get on this and get on it right now, and we'll give you to 2030.
Okay.
So they're separate bills. Are
they saying that being a little person is a disability?
That's my question. Because as I said, listen, I can go, what does Captain America say? I can do this all day. If you want to say that midgets, the Freeburg midgets, are an offensive mascot name and they should not be allowed in Freeburg to use that, then yes, you have to be saying that being a midget is something that falls under disability. And maybe it does. Maybe technically that condition is classified as a disability. I don't know. I do not have any little people in my life, so I don't know that from a personal standpoint. However, the mascot giant or giants, to me, is the other side of the same coin. I do know some ridiculously tall people, super tall, and everything is complicated because of their height. Every doorway they go in, they duck their head and they move in, even when the doorway is really tall. It's just a habit that they get into. They have to find mattresses and furniture that will accommodate them, cars that will accommodate them, chairs and seats and desks that will accommodate them. I don't think that you can advocate that midgets are not okay and giants are okay, because you're effectively saying you cannot represent little people and cheer for little people at your sporting events and at your concerts and whatever it might be, wherever that mascot might be reflected. We're not going to allow little people to be included in that, but we will celebrate big people. I don't think you can do it.
I don't understand the world we live in, because this was probably a week and a half ago now that HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. came out and gave a speech about why he wanted to solve autism. And he gave some examples of the extreme end of that spectrum, saying, there are people who will never live a life on their own. They will never use the bathroom on their own, that kind of thing. And he's saying, this is tragic. This is a tragedy. We need to solve it. Afterwards, the internet explodes saying, how dare you call my children anything that negative. And it was clear that he was talking about a severe form of the disability, but people rallied around to protect the notion of autism. So I don't understand why the double standards all over the place, that we can call certain things disabilities and not others, and then it's offensive in some cases and not others. Let people decide on their own.
So here's another question. How would you define a pioneer?
Somebody who does new things, who breaks ground.
In the sense of American history, what did the pioneers do? What did the explorers do?
They went and found new land. At least new to them.
New to them, huh?
Yeah.
Whose land was it before?
That's a good question. So,
we're in a scenario right now where the lunatics in the state of Illinois legislature that are sponsoring this mascot bill are saying, get rid of all of the Native American names. How dare you represent the Native Americans? Go Pioneers! Oh,
wow.
I don't understand that. You're going to erase Native American representation from the understanding of these children who are learning about the Native American history. I mean, honestly, go look at these schools who have Indians, warriors, K-Hawks, whatever else there might be out there that is reflective of Native American culture, and understand how much effort these locations have taken and invested in to make sure that the children that they're educating understand about Native American history. And then go to the explorers, go to the pioneers, go to the places where they talk about people who built America. Those are the people who, in the virtue signaling mind of these legislators who are trying to virtue signal all over the state with your taxpayer dollars, they have no idea what the K-Hawk history means in this area. They don't care. They want to be able to say that they successfully eradicated, eliminated, drove out of the schools the names of these mascots that reflect Native American cultures. Are they going after the pioneers? Are they going after the explorers? I mean, there's many more that fit in that same type of mentality. What the heck are we doing? And if you don't believe me, let's go to the rally that took place Sunday, which I haven't had a chance to talk about this quite yet. But at the rally, we had two students speak. The first one was from Collinsville, and his name's Eric Denny. He's a senior. He wheeled up. He's a hockey player. He had a scooter for he slashed his Achilles with his hockey skate blade.
That's a rough one.
That makes you squirm. He's a senior, showed up to this rally on a Sunday afternoon, a senior Collinsville K-Hawk hockey player who showed up to defend the K-Hawk during the St. Louis Blues Game 4. Brad, let's cue this up and let's listen to what he had to say at this rally, because I can't say it better myself.
I'm a senior here at Collinsville High School, and today I want to talk about something that's more than just a symbol or a name on a scoreboard. It's about identity, pride, and tradition, and that's a K-Hawk. Let me start by saying this. We should always strive to listen, to learn, and to respect all cultures, especially those with a deep and rich history like that of Native American tribes. That respect, however, is exactly why I believe we should keep our mascot. Our mascot wasn't created out of mockery. It was chosen out of admiration. Native American warriors have been symbols of strength, courage, and resilience for many years. These values we try to live by on and off the field. When we wear that symbol, we're not just playing for a team, we're representing a legacy of perseverance and pride. And with Kokia Mounds, such an amazing and important part of this community, we honor them each and every day. For decades, this mascot has unified our community. It's in our chants, our yearbooks, our homecoming parades. It's part of our story, a story we've shared across generations. To remove it wouldn't just erase a logo, it would erase the memories and identities of what it's meant to be part of this school, this town, and this family. That said, we honor the Native American culture every day. If we keep our mascot, we'll also continue to educate ourselves and others about the history and meaning behind it. We partner with Native voices while also addressing the names of the tribes whose imagery we wear. We make sure our actions match our words. This isn't about resisting change for the sake of tradition. It's about evolving that tradition in a way that honors everyone. Change can mean better understandings, not just removing symbols. And when we do that, we turn a mascot from a costume into a tribute. In conclusion, keeping our K-Hawk mascot isn't about clinging to the past. It's about carrying forward a legacy with integrity. We ask for the bill to be amended and to allow our district to partner with a federally recognized tribe. I leave you with a quote. Once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk.
So that was Eric Denny, and I thought he did a really great job. And he did get choked up a little bit at the end. He could hardly get out the once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. This really means something to them because they take pride. They take pride in what they have grown up watching in many cases or gone through school participating in, it's a big deal. I mean, Ryan, you're a K-Hawk. I don't know how deep that goes into your family. This is not an appropriation. This is not a costume. There's so much more respect in the Collinsville School District community. And I would add too, we had out there Mascot. They're the Mascot Indians, and they had really great representation there as well. Battis is the name of the athletic director that was there, and he had a wonderful speech that he delivered that spoke very much to the tradition and the knowledge and the culture that is championed there. I mean, there's a sense of pride. It is not disrespectful.
It's funny because my mom is a K-Hawk. My dad is a Warrior. So I grew up in both communities in a way, and I grew up a K-Hawk myself. I still live in Collinsville. There's a lot of local pride in the name, in your community. Really, that it's a way that the whole community kind of ties together around you're sort of the color purple and the brand and the logo and the name. And I said this while you were gone, Annie, that I remember walking through my high school, and everybody's got these things in their high school. If your school's been around long enough, some random team from 1945 that went to state. Mm-hmm. And those people, if they're lucky, they're still alive. They're probably not. The only connection I have to them is seeing that thing and going, oh, okay, that we went to state in 1945, but I still say we. So the only time really that we remember the Native Americans that came before us in this area is when we see symbols like that. And it's brief, it's passing, but it's a reminder constantly of that culture.
Yvette Rios is the student body president at Granite City High School. And I wanted to give her the opportunity here on this show to be able to share that speech with you, because she also did a wonderful job. Brad, let's go ahead and listen in.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yvette Rios at Granite City High School and the current student body president. I stand here today to show you all how proud I am to be a Warrior of Granite City. When Dr. Harris, the superintendent, came to me and asked if I wanted to speak today, I immediately said yes. Even though my time at GCHS is coming to an end, and even though many people have asked, why do I even care that the Warrior mascot is being taken away? I care deeply. Granite City has been my home since I moved to the United States in 2013. It's the district that has shaped me. It's where the tireless teachers believed in me, supported me, and made me proud to be part of something bigger. Being a Warrior is something every student looks forward to from the moment we start college at Braves. We watch the older kids and start to learn what it means to be part of this community. When we enter high school, we become Warriors. For 4 years, we are taught, challenged, and prepared for life after high school. At GCHS, we are proud to say we're Warriors as one. On Friday, we were red. Our merchandise proudly said Warriors, and our uniforms carry the Warriors logo on them. The Warrior mascot honors the Native Americans who lived in this area before us. It stands for resilience, perseverance, and the strength that students and community and members of GCHC9 strive to demonstrate every single day. Every student who starts off in Granite City Elementary dreams of ending their journey as a Warrior. It's a tradition that's passed down through generations of families. This past week, I created a Google form and sent it to students to hear their voice about this situation. One of the questions I asked was, do you think the Warriors mascot is a tradition that represents Granite City? I received 450 responses. Some of the comments included, yes, we fight every day to make things better, whether in school or at home. Absolutely. Every time I step onto the soccer field, I wanted to show what it's being a Warrior looks like through hard work and determination. Yes, I believe it represents and shows respect and appreciation for the people who inhabited our homes before us. The Warrior can be seen as the highest level at achievement, and that's what we work at Granite City High School. So many of our students said that it is an honor to have the Warrior name and mascot representing them. We aren't using the Warrior name in a negative way. We honor those people who were here before us by proudly showing and representing what our city is. Granite City is often overlooked and spoken negatively about. But those people don't know how hard our students work, how much effort we put into our sports, and how, when it comes to matters, we come together as one. We know what our school stands for, and we know how to strive to be a warrior. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak today, and how we probably say in Granite City, once a warrior, always a warrior.
So Yvette Rios, the student body president at Granite City High School, I thought did a wonderful job of talking about the sense of pride that those individuals who have gone through the Granite City school system and those students who are there right now, they really want to keep the warrior. They want that. You know, I've avoided trying to argue the merit of K-Hawk as a mascot because I am not a K-Hawk. And I honestly think it should be up to the people of Collinsville to determine whether or not it's time to move on from the K-Hawk, to refine how they acknowledge the K-Hawk, or to say, everybody pound sand. We love this. We like this. If you want to lobby us to try to change it, good luck trying. The money that will have to be spent, $2 to $3 million, that could have to be spent in various school districts to fix the football fields, to change scoreboards, to change, school uniform polos that might be worn by staff, to change letterhead, to change all of the different things that have these mascots on them. Are the people is the representative in Rockford who's trying to shove this down the wallets of people in the Collinsville School District, Mascot School District, Granite City School District, Freeburg School District, go on and on about it? Are they more interested in putting millions of dollars into changing athletic facilities that might have been updated within the last year or two than they are in investing in new technology for the schools, more accessibility for the schools, better pay for the teachers in the school and the staff in the school? Is that what these people who are going to feel so comfy and cozy in their beds at night because they got rid of the K-Hawk and the Warrior? Is that what they really want your tax dollars to be spent on? I'll tell you what, they don't care because they don't represent this district. Their votes don't come from this district. So if you can come from Rockford, Illinois, and shove your nose into the business of Mascot School District, of Granite City School District, and say, shame on you, absolute shame. You need to rectify this issue. You need to get right. Oh, and it's going to cost you $2 million. They're not going to have to campaign against someone who's going to hold them accountable for voting for this. I'll tell you what, bipartisan, Republican and Democrat alike, down here, downstate, Republican and Democrat alike have voted against this in the House. The Senate has yet to take it up in committee. Unless something is developed in the last hour or two, the Senate has yet to take this bill up. It might just sit there and die. It might not. I need you to do something. If you're listening to me and you're in an Illinois district that has one of these mascots, if you're in an Illinois district and you're near one of these mascots and you care about it, Republican or Democrat alike, get a hold of your legislator, specifically your senator, because they're the ones who hold the power to do something next with this bill, and tell them, I need you to vote no on this bill. And if you already are voting no on this bill, I'm imploring you as my elected official in the state legislature to tell your colleagues that on behalf of the people who are representing these actual districts, they need to vote no as well. Because if Rockford can come down to Southern Illinois and tell us how to spend our taxpayer dollars and tell us what mascots to cheer for in high school, you sure as hell can call your senator and tell them how to vote on this bill coming up. And if they have any sense at all, it will sit and wait for committee assignment and never be brought up again, so that this silly waste of taxpayer dollars, waste of taxpayer invested time never has to be a discussed issue ever again in the state legislature. Or should I say, until they've solved all of the other problems in the state of Illinois, then they can get to fixing all of the shameful mascots across the state. You know, like the Giants and the Pioneers and the Trailblazers. Or maybe not. I guess it just depends on what side of the virtue line you consider yourself to sit on. Let's take a quick break. We're going to do a little Ask Us Anything in the next segment. So next question in the next segment. If you've got questions for us, if you've got questions for me from DC, hit us up on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. You got to subscribe in order to comment. And if you do subscribe and you can't comment right away, you just got to wait 5 minutes to make sure that you're not a troll. We'd love to have you on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Come comment, and we'll do a little next question next. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show. This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, May 20th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Bob and Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and worried about the market volatility and losses at this stage in your life? Would you like to learn why linking to the market is much safer than owning the market?
Would you like to learn how to automatically lock in your market gains every year without having to sell? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, at the Frontenac Hilton on Tuesday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Civialaw.com is, oh man, if you need somebody to help you through difficult transitions in your life, if you need somebody to help you understand how to secure your future, to secure your estate, to make sure that everything that is proprietary to you has a designated place to go if you're no longer here. Maybe if your significant other is no longer here, you need Civia Law. They have 7 locations across Illinois and Missouri. In Illinois, you can visit them in Edwardsville, East Alton, Swansea, Centralia, and Mount Vernon. In Missouri, you can visit Civia Law at Wentzville and Creve Coeur offices. Right now, for the first 10 listeners to call in right after this endorsement that I'm doing right now to 833-995-WILL, they are giving you a free strategy session, which is a $300 value. So your basic cost of entry to sit down and have that initial discussion, it's on them. But you got to call now, and you got to be the first 10 to call. 833-995-WILL. Mention the Annie Fry Show in order to qualify for this. 833-995-WILL. For Will's Trust Powers of Attorney, they have a 2-week turnaround of completed documents from the initial sit-down appointment. Civia Law, it's who my husband and I use. It's who you're going to want to use as well. 833-995-WILL. CiviaLaw.com.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
May is a great time to exercise your Second Amendment rights at the Range St. Louis West. If you're a member this month, they're going to double the discount on firearms from 5 to 10%. Membership has its privileges, and accessories are always 10% off, ammo 10% off, classes 15% off. You get free lanes and free rentals with over 120 firearms on the Range. Check them out at 14803 Manchester Road or shop online at therangestl.com. St. Louis homeowners, are you thinking about upsizing, downsizing, or relocating this year? Hey, it's Mark Cox. When life happens and you need to sell your home, I recommend you talk to my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria understands every seller situation is unique. That's why she has created custom programs to fit every home seller's needs. Many people move out of necessity, like for a new job or financial challenges. That's why Gloria created her guaranteed multiple cash offer program, giving you up to 6 of the best offers with at least one at 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. Plus, you sell faster. Gloria did this for the Miller family in Clayton and got them more money than they were expecting and within their time frame. She did it for them. She can do it for you. Get your offers today by calling Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040. 800-586-4040.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Young blood thinks there's always tomorrow. I miss your touch.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I know you crossed the bridge that
Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
since the love that you left is all that I get. I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. And if you can't be next to me, your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. I miss you more than life.
Next question. It's a legitimate question. Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Fry Show.
Gosh, every time I hear that Kamala laugh, I flinch.
Did you see the polling recently that CNN did that said, if the election were held today, who would you vote for? Trump still beat her.
By 2? Like 48, 46 or something like that?
Still That's the only polling that really matters is the head-to-head stuff, because everything else is just like, well, I don't like that guy. What do you do? I don't know. I'm just not fond of him.
It's really a question of who do you like less?
Yeah.
You want to go first, Ryan?
Yes, I have this question for you all because
That's how it works.
Vested interest in this question.
You
Is there a
usually
food-
do.
I know. Is there a food you remember eating for the first time?
So I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. But a couple weekends ago, it was the week before Holy Week. I took my daughter to Florida, and it was just the two of us, and it was just a little weekend getaway. We deserved it, and we were going around Epcot, and we were stopped at Italy. It's the Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot. So beautiful. Highly recommend. But in Italy, they had cannolis.
Oh.
And so we would go around and you'd get something and then we would just try. We would share everything. And she had a cannoli. She goes, where have cannolis been? Like
Really?
she loved the cannoli, and like she didn't know it existed or whatever. But I mean, it's a great dessert. It's a cannoli.
I actually don't like cannoli.
Well, but I think
But
that she will remember the first cannoli that she ever had.
that's cool.
And I was thinking to myself, like, I can't remember the last time I've had a transformative food experience. Do you have one?
Oh man, I was thinking on the way in.
How many do you have?
I can think of 4 offhand, and they were all in college because my parents made really good food. My dad grilled all the time. Listen to the Cardinal game outside grilling with Andrea's, like almost like probably 6 out of 7 nights a week in the summer, especially. So we had great food, but we didn't have odd foods. So like the first time I ever ate sushi was in college, and it was with my now wife. We were just dating. She goes, "You need to eat sushi." So we went out. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible."
Did you get any worms?
I don't think so, unless they stayed.
I can't get over that story. One time I've never had sushi. It's not really my thing because I don't eat any seafood of any kind. But I saw one article, it was like, be careful of the sushi you eat because, and I didn't know that was a possibility.
You just got to get rid of the worms before you eat it. Just got to pick them off. Chai was the first time in college I ever had chai tea or chata. And then I remember for the first, I had cheesecake before, but it was like the box stuff. I had never had a really high-end cheesecake until I was in college. And I remember sitting in my friend's living room, and his mom brought out a cheesecake from probably Cheesecake Factory or something. It was just really good. And I had a piece, and I was like, oh, no, I think I'm addicted.
Back when Katie was still the producer of the show, we did an Edwardsville town crawl. It was kind of when town halls were happening all over the place. And we're like, let's do some town crawls. And we went to Edwardsville. If there's ever any chambers of commerce out there that would like us to get a hold of me and talk to me about how we could come town crawl in your area, I'd be interested in it. But we did Edwardsville just as like a test run. And we went to a Little Taste of Heaven bakery, and I got macarons. And I think that was the first time I ever had macarons.
And you remember it?
I remember specifically getting them there and not really knowing what they were. Yeah, I think that's actually on video now that I think about it. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. And you guys all know that I like macarons. Brad, do you have one?
Yeah. Well, I remember the first time I had sushi. I remember the first time I had horchata, like Ryan. But
really?
Yes. But
So were you guys together? Was this the start of something?
I think
special?
No, this is a
we
different
didn't know
time.
each other, but it was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
dude?
we were kindred spirits the whole time. This one, and forgive me if I mispronounce it, but it's called Hirosif. And it is a sweet, like honey, cinnamon, apple, dates, pecan mixture that you have at a Seder meal. And it is the most phenomenal thing I've ever had in my life. And it just, I don't know, fresh and clean and great and delicious. And it's amazing.
Ethan, you have a food memory?
Yeah, I got a couple here. I remember
segment's almost over.
He's going into the phone.
That's right.
I had to make sure I didn't
down.
forget them. I remember first time I had cheesecake. It was at the Cheesecake Factory after freshman year homecoming.
What is it about it? I was like, oh my gosh,
It's
this
so good.
exists.
It was an
Cheesecake's
Oreo
great.
cheesecake too. Oh, so good.
People in the comments on YouTube, tell us where to get in St. Louis the best cheesecake.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I want to know where the
Yeah.
best cheesecake is. Contact me.
First time I ever had a crepe was in Breckenridge, Colorado.
Crepes are great.
Yeah, me and my best friend and his family, we went on our senior vacation out to their home out there. And in Breckenridge, they have this small, I don't even know, I guess what I would call it. It's almost like this portable trailer that's a little crepe shop. And the line is around the corner all the time. And we split. I had a pizza crepe and a s'mores crepe, and they were both phenomenal.
And when I was in high school, it was the year was 2000. It was April 2000. I know this because my parents were gone in Hawaii, and I was staying with my friend while they were gone. And her mom made crepes, and I had never had it before. And I remember my first crepe, and it's still one of the best breakfast foods.
I remember mine now that you say that too. It was also in college.
Did you
I
do
had
anything before college?
No, I didn't.
Or after?
I had a plantain memory while you were talking too.
Really?
Can we get to the next question? I mean,
Actually,
I kind of want to know more about the plantain.
No, we're going to take a break because this segment is now over, but we're going to continue it on the other side. So send us your questions and your comments on the best cheesecake in St. Louis by state area. We want to know, where is the best cheesecake from? You can message me too. Send me a message on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page if you don't do the YouTube thing. But why don't you do the YouTube thing? You should. And also, we want to know in the poll on YouTube, have you had a flat tire in 2025? Yes, no, or you've had more than one? Go vote. We'll be right back.
I settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
aircomfortservice.com. If you are looking for someone to make sure your AC is in good working order, you want to make sure that you call the very best. And the very best, yes, is Air Comfort Service. I am a customer multi-times over. New furnace, new air conditioner, new water heater, and also an AeroSeal duct seal from Air Comfort Service. And they're the best. The people who they send in, you can trust them. They get the job done right the first time. Installed a smart thermostat in my home, which I love. It's also connected to a mobile app, so we can move the temperature, wake up in the middle of the night, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's too cold in here. It's too hot in here. You can adjust that and then go back to sleep. It's fantastic. If you're looking for an air conditioner, if you know that you're in need of an air conditioner replacement soon, get with Air Comfort Service, because with the new 2025 regulations that have come in requiring a different type of refrigerant to be used in HVAC equipment, the cost has gone up by 20% for this new equipment. What did Air Comfort Service do? They looked out for you. They went and bought a bunch of 2024 equipment, stocked up on it so that they can get you these very great systems in your home, but you get to save on the cost. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. All you need to know online at aircomfortservice.com.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
YouTube live chat poll today is, have you had a flat tire in 2025? Annie tells me there's a reason she's asking this question. We're going to find out during the show. So stick around for that and let us know if you have had a flat tire in 2025. If it's yes, if it's more than one, or if it's just a no. It's a YouTube live chat poll, and you can find it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. And today's date, along with the live stream, will come up where you can vote and leave a comment. 1:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey, it's Annie. Join me for the 5th Annual Chairman's Golf Tournament on Monday, May 12th at Tamarack Golf Club in Shiloh, Illinois, benefiting the St. Clair County GOP. The 4-person scramble includes awesome prizes and lunch. We're broadcasting live. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Fry Show.
Up tonight, shining through the trees. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on the breeze. Baby, get ready.
In case you were wondering, this is a two-step.
I was.
Yeah, you know.
It's like, is this a two-step?
You did just ask that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
How many steps is this song?
2.
This is at the epicenter of Jared and my day, Wild Country.
Oh, I know. I didn't even know what it was until I hit the chorus.
Killing it.
Are you kidding me?
On the dance floor.
Yeah, I don't know anything about country or rap, for that matter.
Didn't know the
Nothing.
thong song.
You know what happens when you put country and rap together?
Limp Bizkit.
Crap.
Run tree.
A little more next question here. And we're going to start with the famous Balls for You is his name. And he said, ask me anything, Annie. Can we team up in pickleball and crush Brad and Ryan for fun? The answer is yes. And I've never played pickleball.
My question is, why the heck am I excluded from this ball?
You can have my spot.
You're probably a threat. That's probably why.
That's good way to twist it.
Sure.
I like that.
I know something about balls, and he used to play tennis.
Hold on.
Hold up.
Reverse.
Yeah, no. Let's skip
You
right
know
past
something
it.
about what?
No, we're just going to keep going right past it. He used to play tennis, and he would play against guys that were like Andre Agassi and stuff like that when he was young growing up. So
he played against Andre Agassi?
I think that's what he told me.
Pickleball?
No, tennis.
You trusted
like tennis.
Balls?
Yeah, I don't
Yes, he
think
showed
that's
me
true.
pictures.
I don't think it's true.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Okay. All right,
he's
I'm
the
done.
guy we send stuff to Photoshop, Brad.
Yes,
me
and
pictures.
I know what his Photoshop skills look like.
That's exactly like Joe
just
Biden
a
in that
modern
family
face of
Easter
him.
picture. Joe, you've got Balls standing out there, and
In a
Andre
suit.
Agassi is also out there.
All right, that's the new assignment, Balls, if you're listening.
Ball says that I am zero threat.
Put
Oh, sorry.
Andre Agassi in the Biden family picture.
We'll probably have it by the end of the show. Have you ever played pickleball, Ryan?
Yeah, well, in high school, we played it in gym, and it was a lot of fun, but I haven't played it
Pickleball?
since then. Yeah,
Like-
before it was popular.
Like old people pickleball?
Real pickleball. I had never heard of it or seen it before that.
It was in the segment with badminton.
Ethan, have you ever played pickleball?
Yeah, I actually enjoy pickleball.
So stop for a second. Is it as enjoyable as everybody who does play it says that it is?
That's a good question. I personally, let me explain why I enjoy it. Is I really like ping pong, and when you play singles, a lot of the spin that you use and the way that you swing it is very similar. So that's why I like it, and I can't really play ping pong anymore because I don't have a table. So that's why I like it. I don't know if anyone else.
That's a wild story.
It is similar.
It's like playing those chess boards where you're one of the pieces, but with table tennis.
Brad, next question. Yes, Balls, we'll do it.
Sorry.
Yes.
What was like the high water mark of your DC trip?
You mean like in what? What do you mean by high water mark?
Like what was the part that was like the coolest? part
Where
of
was
it?
I like? I don't know if I can go on.
What was the closest point to sea level that you watermarked?
What was the coolest thing that you did while you were in DC?
How humid was it?
I can't.
She got the joke. Took a few seconds.
And then judged you and moved on. But here we are. I can't. There's no greater moment than when I walked through the security and I was standing on the White House lawn. And then I walked past the West Wing into the press briefing room, and I was shouting distance from the Oval Office.
Did you shout?
Mm-mm.
How far
No.
is shouting distance?
Like probably from like us to about Steve's office. So what would I mean? 100? Not even 100 yards. 50 yards.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50 yards.
50 yards, maybe.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, I have such respect for, when I think of America and I think of what that is to me, the power and the strength and the magnitude of what that is an idea. It's not a person. And to me, to be at the White House, I felt that. And then, of course, the obvious understanding that while I was sitting in the press briefing room, Donald Trump was 50 yards away in the Oval Office, like doing most powerful man in the world things. I mean, yes, I saw a lot of people who you and I would recognize, like when we were watching the Eagles celebration, I could have if I would have moved my elbow back, I would have knocked Caitlin Collins over. CNN had their camera on a huge tripod right behind me. One time I stuck my gimbal up in the air and they were like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Gimbal.
Just trying to see the president. So I was around all of these people who just are doing their job all the time, but just to be in the presence of where these things are happening and also knowing the things that have happened there is just, it's so humbling. And I hope that it's humbling like that for every single person, the president of the United States included, when they walk into that building.
To me, shouting distance is probably only about the length that you could throw a football.
It's because your voice is weak.
And so for me, it's like 100, 150 yards. Oh. And that's, the same
quarter mile.
The same humbling experience
Past
that
those
Annie
mountains.
just had at the White House, I had when I realized I could only throw a football 150 yards.
Next question, Ethan.
Interesting.
You got one?
Let's go. Can I go to the?
You
to
can
the
do
people
whatever
for
you
one? I saw a couple of interesting ones here from the people. Our good old Bobo Farms. We can always rely on Bobo Farms.
You
for
should be paid on Fridays.
AMA questions. He asks, any family or family member catchphrases?
Yeah, this is funny. See, are there things you say in your family?
Oh yeah,
that mean something in your family that nobody else would? What's yours?
There's so many. Most of them had to do with the dog about the time the kids were born, because we'd say stuff to the dog that we'd also then start saying to the kids, and now we still say it. Stuff like, it doesn't even make any sense though outside of the context. We'll say, she's a pop-up, because the dog would sometimes be laying on the ground and just put her head up on the couch like pet me, and we would yell, she's a pop-up. And now we still say that for no reason.
Brad, you guys have anything?
One of the first anniversary cards that my wife got for me said, I love you a whole punch.
Mhm.
And so we just keep saying that to one another.
Ethan, you have any?
So I know we've talked about how my dad's an athletic director, and he uses when he doesn't have an answer, an excuse for why he's doing something, he'll say, because I'm the freaking AD.
Yeah.
So it's kind of caught on to like now, like if we're kind of caught, like I did it because I'm the freaking AD. We'll just all say it now.
I have so many different things that I say to my kids. I talk silly to my kids all of the time. I just like to make things be silly around them. It seems to relax the situation. I'm trying to think of anything that I say to them that I can repeat. It's like I have to talk to them, but I do talk to them in this like separate language.
Mm-hmm.
I talk a lot about like calling them chicky nuggies, that type of chicken nuggets, chicken nuggets or whatever. There's also a phrase that is in my family, like that I grew up with, and it's something about Sam. And I have a nephew named Sam, and it's not about him. And it's something that my dad said at work one time and then brought home and they started saying it at home or something like that. And all I can think of is play it again, Sam. And that's not it. But I'm going to think of it and I'll come up with it in the middle of the 2 o'clock hour and I'll be able to repeat it.
You guys can do pop-up if you want.
That's what I'm saying. Like we'll just kind of incorporate them if you don't have, if you want to upgrade your family phrases. Next question, Ryan, you got one?
I do. What is something that you collected as a kid that you still have and won't get rid of, even though you don't care about it anymore?
Well,
or maybe
I
you
was
do.
say don't say the care about it.
You lost me at that point.
Baseball cards.
But do you really care about those?
Yeah, I
Or
care
are they just
about
kind
it.
of sitting there? 'Cause
I have a
got
Cal
those too.
Ripken Jr. collection that I think is pretty sweet.
Oh, I did too, man. I had some Cal Ripken cards. I had one that was worth $120 when it came out. Now it is worth $2.
I didn't think I cared about my baseball cards until my nephew asked if he could have them. And I was like, knee jerk. No, these are mine.
I thought you were gonna say like maybe 2,000.
No,
and then like maybe 200.
No, two. And I'd be lucky to get that.
I also have a really sweet Beanie Baby collection that I spent lots of money on from like my grandparents would give me money for Christmas and for my birthday and would seek them out. I had the books that would list the different Beanie Babies and where, and you'd look at the tags and you'd be able to tell by if it had this marker on it was this year, this edition. I invested a lot of my money in that, but
I collected all kinds of Ninja Turtle stuff. Man, Ninja Turtle cards, Ninja
my
Turtle.
brother was big on that.
There was the little cards on the back of the toys that I collected for summer. I still have all those.
Mm-hmm.
Mine will be baseball autographs. Take great pride in my baseball autograph collection and will never let go of that.
Oh, I just got a message from my mom, and it's what you talking about, Sam.
Is that yours? Is that your thing?
That was a family conversation.
What are you talking about, Sam?
Yeah.
Who's Sam?
I don't know.
No, it's son of Sam.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Next question. Brad, you got one?
Yeah, somebody in the chat asked who on the Annie Fry show could change a tire the fastest.
Ooh. I got my answer.
I think Brad asked this question in his fake
Yeah,
account.
Brad knows he's going to be the answer to this question.
I bet I could get it changed the fastest with the least amount of effort.
Oh, so she could have somebody change it.
Brad might be able to change the tire the fastest, but I could lift the car and just run with it. So
you can throw a football 150 yards and you can lift cars.
Yep, that's why they call me Power Ryan.
The muscle elf.
Go, go, Power Ryan.
The muscle elf.
That was before you.
Okay.
It's a good thing he wasn't the muscle midget. We'd be in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, we would.
You'd have to change all the past shows.
All of them.
Go back and spend $2 million.
Get rid of them all.
Steve, we're going to need $2 million to correct an error. All right, where do I sign?
One, though.
I'm going to need to put it on your credit card, though.
We got to scrub some of our past shows.
Trish is going to come hang out with us in the 2:00 hour. That sounds like fun.
Yay.
I was going to say, doesn't that sound like fun? And it turned out that doesn't sound like fun.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Take me home. Country Roads. We'll be right back.
Baby, get ready.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I'm Danny Cohn, President and CEO of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. This past week, the Jewish holiday of Yom HaShoah commemorated the 80th anniversary of the Holocaust and remembered the 6 million Jews who were murdered by the Nazis in World War II. As Jews, when we recall the atrocities of the Holocaust, we say, never again. This is not a slogan or a tagline. It's a responsibility we all share to prevent the systematic hatred from going unchecked. When we work together to fight against prejudice and bigotry towards everyone, we create a better community for everyone.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
What President Trump wants from Congress. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. He's asking lawmakers to slash spending and to crack down on social and climate programs.
President Trump's first budget of his second term asked Congress to cut more than $163 billion in non-defense spending next year. Many of the cuts reflected in the budget blueprint have already been identified by the president's Department of Government Efficiency, which has reduced the federal workforce and curbed foreign aid. Presidents are required by law to send budgets to Congress, though they are seen mostly as a list of priorities for the president.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Republican lawmakers are already working on a bill that would expand tax cuts and aim to cut spending by as much as $1.5 trillion. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calls the president's budget plan a gut punch to American families, accusing him of bankrolling tax breaks for billionaires by hollowing out programs families rely on. Sentencing day over a deadly hate crime in Illinois.
53 years in prison, essentially a life sentence for 73-year-old Joseph Chuba, who jurors in Will County only took an hour and a half to find guilty in the stabbing death of 6-year-old Wadi El-Fayumi and the injury of his mother, Hanan Shaheen, who said,
"Our justice system has spoken. There is no room for hate
in our country and communities.
The Palestinian Americans were tenants of the former Plainfield landlord and victims of what prosecutors called a hate-fueled attack in 2023, amid rising tensions over the war between Israel and Hamas.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. State police in Idaho are still investigating what caused the deadly collision between a pickup truck and a tour van yesterday near Yellowstone National Park. Both vehicles catching fire. 7 people were killed, 8 others injured. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We should hit a high of about 69 this afternoon with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Got to keep an eye out, though, for some showers tonight. Partly to mostly cloudy, 51. Saturday, unsettled skies. Unfortunately, there will continue to be some showers and thunder showers from time to time. Nothing severe, 65. Sunday, partly sunny and cool with some showers, 61. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I said this in the last segment.
Just a reminder have your
Brad.
Air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
If you're looking for jewelry to purchase in May, because you got mom, she needs to be looked after. Your wife, folks, I know she might not be your mom, but she's the mother of your children. Gentlemen, find your way to the Diamond Shop. If you can't make it into their Clayton shop right now, you can go to their website and be a VIP so you can save a little extra money on that purchase. The Diamond Shop is going to make her Mother's Day. If you go to thediamondshop.net, everything you need to know about their store is located there. But let me let you in on a little secret. Through the 10th, 40% off all in-stock jewelry. There are a lot of amazing things you can shop there that are going to be within your budget. You don't have to have a huge budget to go get something absolutely memorable, stunning, and timeless from the Diamond Shop. And what a way to acknowledge the children, maybe with birthstones, maybe for grandma, the birthstones of all of the grandchildren. You go to the Diamond Shop, they're going to look at your budget. They're going to respect you and your budget in that purchase. And they're going to guide you to something that is really going to make her day. They've got a graduation sale coming up in May. So keep that in mind as well when you're going in to shop at the Diamond Shop. And they're always looking to give the VIPs a little extra love. How do you become a VIP? Incredibly simple. You just visit them on their website at thediamondshop.net.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter. They're the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Call 314-499-2020. That's 499-2020 or Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com. That's Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NordicuSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Annie and crew.
I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too. It's been a long time.
It's been a long week.
It's been, yeah, it sounds like it's been a really long week for you guys.
Yeah, but good. We're excited to be here. Brad and Ryan and myself here for a 2 o'clock hour on the Annie Fry Show here on 97.1 FM Talk. I want to talk about the poll. You said this week, did you end up having a flat tire?
No, I had a tire that was about to bust, but it was gonna leave me on the side of the road somewhere.
So the YouTube live chat poll is, have you had a flat tire in 2025? And depending on how this, okay, so let's, before we discuss this amongst ourselves, what percentage of our audience would have to vote yes to this to make you go, well, that's a lot? Because I mean, you don't, if 75% of our audience said yes, that would be like a gigantic story. So if it's 5%, that would be 1 in 20, right? 1 in 20 people. 5% of the people on this poll end up saying yes. That means 1 in 20 people in 2025 have experienced a flat tire. I would still think that's kind of high. Like if I'm sitting in a room and there are 20 people and one of you is guaranteed to in the last 4 months had a flat tire, I would still think that's pretty high. So gauge for yourself right now, 1 in how many people would you start to lean in and go, well, that seems kind of strange. That seems kind of fishy.
Since we're talking about just this year, we're talking about the
just
first
2025
quarter of the year, I would say it would need to be around a quarter of the people. 25%.
25% say yes, and you would have your eyebrows going up. Not just
weird.
Common road hazard.
Right.
What about you, Brad?
I was gonna say about 1 in 10 would really get my eyebrows going. So about 10% of the people.
Trisha, do you have any thoughts on
Yeah,
this?
I was 1 in 5 too, about 25%.
That's 20%.
I was 1 in 5, about 20%.
So
1 in 4.
We've got 213 votes on the poll right now. I have had 3 flat tires this year.
That's a lot.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yes. And I'm not very happy about it, which is why I'm asking this question. I am wondering if I am just the most unlucky person in the world. There's a lot of construction that's out there. Are people who are doing road construction using nails?
Well, you got to nail the road down somehow.
I don't know.
How else is the road going to stay down when it gets windy?
Maybe that's why they're always doing construction.
No,
winds are
using
blown
nails?
away.
No, but
Why are there nails on the road?
I would think that it's falling off of other vehicles. And if you're in an area where there's a lot of storms, they're doing a lot of roofing and stuff like that, and they throw that stuff into the back of those trailers and haul it away, I could see that getting onto the roads.
Dang, that's plausible. I don't expect that kind of content from Brad.
I do. That's why he's here.
You know, it was really weird. Right in the middle of Brad's little talk there, I accidentally turned my headphones up all the way.
Ah!
So I was paying very close attention.
People will say, "Oh, you went through the construction there. There's a lot of people and getting flats." Like that seems like an old wives' tale.
Mm-hmm.
That construction equals more flat tires. Is there any sense to that? Hold on a second. Before anybody answers that question, I'm going to open the phones, but I only want to talk to people who have expertise in this.
Like Brad.
Well, yeah, he's here and I get to do that.
Grew up on
But
construction.
if there is somebody who is like part of MoDOT or IDOT, or if there's somebody who understands why there might be an increased amount of flat tires, I want to speak to you. Now, I can't verify your credentials, but 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. Ethan, people who can add context to the story.
I do want to add this, though. The roads seem way, way worse right
They
now
are.
than ever in my life.
They are really
Probably Donald Trump's fault.
Well, it's both sides of the river. So I can't
Maybe
attribute
Biden's
it
too.
to any sort of political anything. I would think first, the government of Illinois is just not spending any money on what they should. But it's in Missouri too, although it's mostly downtown. So maybe they're not spending the right
those
money.
ice storms are bad for roads.
Joe says on YouTube, 270 at 40 in the construction, always cars with flats off the road. I see cars with flats on 255 every day.
I think that may be why we're having more flats, is because the roads are in such bad shape.
They take the nails out of my,
Yours
my
are
tires.
all nails. Yours are all nails. But if it ends up being that you do have a high percentage, I bet that's a contributing factor, because that's why I got my flat.
I come from Madison County, and I don't drive on any bad roads to get to work. There are no roads that to me look like they're in disrepair.
Oh, man. I want to drive your route.
Well, come pick me up, and then your tires can go flat, not mine.
Okay.
But my tire did go flat.
Ender says, quit running over nails. Annie, easy. Okay. I'll just Mario Kart my way right in here. Trisha, any flat tire experience?
Not lately. No, every time I get a flat tire, it's in an alley, though. You drive through any alleys?
What are you doing in the alley?
I don't know. There seems
Avoiding
to be
the bad roads.
There seems to be a lot of nails in the alley.
They take this shortcut.
Do you think there's anything to the fact that we've had really strong storms and there's been a lot of wind? Could be pushing nails around.
I'm open
that
to
wouldn't
anything because I think I don't want to like lean into this too much, but you could wreak a lot of havoc from the people out there who are havoc wreakers by easily creating a scenario where people could run over things and cause a lot of problems.
Do you think maybe the nails are being blown into the tires by gale force winds?
Possibly.
Or just onto the roads.
Well, somebody in the comments said something about roofs, which made me think about all of the storm damage we've had. And
that's kind of what Brad was saying about
that's what Brad said.
roof repair folks. Julia, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What's the story behind the flat tires? What do you think?
So I'm a home health physical therapist, and I do a lot of driving. And I've been in a lot of storm damaged areas, and I've had 2 tire problems in the past 2 weeks.
Ugh. Could they be patched?
Yes.
For so long.
Fortunately, they could be.
Yeah. So you think
So,
you think it's weather related?
I do, because I know I was in one neighborhood who had their siding was all shot up with the hail damage, and they were all getting new roofs. And I got a flat tire right after I went there.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Julia. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So, I mean, maybe that's it. But I've had 3. Currently, my front left tire. So I had 2 tires that had to be replaced. I never even told this story on the air, but on election day, April election day, I was watching my son's baseball game. They ended up winning 16-14. That game took forever. And I was just thinking, okay, I'll watch the game and then I'll go vote afterwards. And it got to be 6:30 and they were still playing. And so I'm like, I have to leave. I can't not vote. I can't be this person and not vote. Get in the car, whip it out of the parking lot, and my tire thing comes up and it says 28. It's supposed to be 36. It says 28.
Skidoo.
14, 9. And I'm like, crap. So
I better go faster.
Yeah.
The tire store, my house, and the polling place I can get to in a mile. So wherever I drive this car, unless I pull directly over, I can go to the tire store. I have 2 girls with me, my daughters. I go to the tire store. I could go to my house, or I could go to the polling place. But wherever I went was the last place I was going with that car. And I had, at that point, about 25 minutes to vote.
Ooh.
And I was feeling pretty bad about not making a plan to vote.
What did she do, folks?
I drove, the tire store was the closest place. So I drove to the tire store. I got my 2 oldest girls out of the car and I go, get out of the car. We're running. So I ran down the street by two girls from the
Where
tire.
people are like, that's Annie Fry. What are you doing? Saving democracy.
Yeah, this is my plan. I should have had like a sandwich board on me. Vote no matter what. There's, I don't know, like 100 people who voted in my precinct. I was one of them. So I'm running down the street, and I told my girls, because we had to run past my house in order to get to the polling place. I go, when we get past the house, you go inside. My littlest is like, I gotta pee. Of course you do. Like, what would make this story more exciting than you having to pee? The baseball game is still going on. It's tied like 14-14. It was not a great game. Tied 14-14. My son was DHing. He was up in the bottom of the whatever inning it was with one out, and he's up. And so we're like running down this road, left the car behind at the tire store, getting close to the house. And my son successfully lays down a bunt to move the runner over to third. Next guy comes up, and they won 15-14 or 16-14 or something. I don't know. So the game is over. My husband is at the game, which is less than 2 miles away from where we are right now. And I'm like, he calls me, he's like, oh, game's over. I'm like, can you come get me right now? And he's like, right now? And I'm like, yeah, it was 6:48 at that point. And I'm like, you have to leave right now, and you can probably pick me up as I'm running to the polling place on the side of the road. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll come. So he, in his vehicle, comes up on the side of me. Like, as my girls are going into the house, he pulls over on the side of the road. I get in the car. We get to the polling place, which is a quarter mile from where my house is. And I walked in to vote at 6:58 and was able to vote.
Wow. All that for a Kamala Harris vote.
She was not on the April local ballot.
Well, then you should have come to my precinct.
But folks, you probably should make a plan. Because that is an example of why your stupid flat tires, which where did I pick that up? I don't understand it. And that was the third flat tire that we have had. Dan, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Why are there so many flat tires going on right now? Dan, you there?
Yes.
What?
Right.
Do you have a flat tire explanation?
I'm a union carpenter. If you're around bridge work, most of that work is done by carpenters. All of the concrete is poured inside of concrete forms, which are put together by nails. It all has to come back apart. Now, at the end of the workday, we sweep the roads. But if you're passing under a bridge that's under construction, you're going to be running over nails.
Well, I'm gonna have to think about my.
That's just the way life works.
All right, Dan.
Got to keep the roads going. Bye.
Thank you for what you do. Let's see here, Stan. Thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Your thoughts on what I think is a flat tire epidemic? Go ahead.
Talking to Stan?
Yes, I am.
Hey, so I live in Belleville, and new roofs.
Yeah.
People put new roofs on houses, and I always run over roofing nails. So maybe you need to check, see what you're running over, and maybe it's in your neighborhood.
Roofing nails. Okay, thank you, Stan, for the phone call. That seems to be the consensus of what makes the most sense.
So not just for voting, but for avoiding nails, you need to come up with a plan based on what Dan and Stan said.
This is why we pay you.
Dan confirmed that they're just trying to nail down the roads, like I said at the beginning.
Yeah. And bridges.
And
word
bridges.
for word. And bridges.
Word for word.
So was your problem with your tire, what caused it?
There was a goiter on it.
Don't say that word.
It's horrible.
It was all bulbous and pushed out.
You know what
on
would
the
you say it was
side.
moist?
No,
doesn't
but
bother
it looked it because it was all shiny like it was about.
What caused it? I didn't ask what it was. I asked what caused it.
I hit a pothole in downtown St. Louis. I know exactly what happened.
So the impact caused the distribution of the air inside too.
Brad could probably explain this better.
I thought you'd give it a shot.
Broke the cords in the sidewall.
Broke the cords in the sidewall.
So you got a new tire.
I had to get one right then because I didn't see it until that moment. Yeah. So I had to get a new tire. It hadn't gone flat, but it was about to. It was about to bust.
So you know that yours is bad roads.
Mine is bad roads.
Why did you hit potholes so hard?
I don't know. It looks like fun at the moment.
Yeah.
And then later you're like, that wasn't that fun.
Deep regret.
Yeah, I had to get all new tires because they were bald. They were balder than me.
It's pretty bald.
Yeah. And I got those nice grooves in my head.
Nice tread. You can stick a penny in there and
try to shave it, but
measure
it's like,
the years.
Man, it's kind of bumpy.
Off-road shaver.
Yeah.
So none of you have had flats.
I got a nail in my tire probably a month ago. It was
64 maybe?
Yeah, I was on 64. I'm assuming that's where I picked it up. I could have picked it up anywhere between here and home.
So you're a yes.
Yes. I mean, it didn't go all the way down on me. The light came on and I went and, checked it and it's like, oh, there's the nail right there.
I haven't had one. I have had one in the past year or so, but not this year.
And Ryan, you've only had goiters.
Only
that were
goiter
your fault.
tire. That wasn't an option on the poll today. It was yes, no, more than one. And I was like, can you put goiter?
No, I was actually trying to avoid it.
And you said no. So I guess
I'm a yes more. I'm a more than one category here, which is why I'm so obviously soapboxy about it. Come tell us what you think on the Annie Fry YouTube live chat. You can leave your comments, especially if you're a more than oneer like me. Right now, more than one, we are the 3%ers. But I'm not the only one. So that's the interesting part. Also, I'm curious, let's finalize our numbers in our head. Like how many yeses is indicative of this is a bigger problem than just your casual road hazard situation. Annie Fry YouTube channel for that. Trisha, you saying, please? Okay. Yes. Okay. We'll have Trisha, Brad, Ryan, and myself back in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
good memories growing up. My dad would grill. I think he would do it 7 nights a week if he could. I think it was probably more like 5 or 6 nights a week that he would listen to baseball. And depending on my age, I'd be running around while he grilled, and just the smell of the charcoal and the Andrea sauce, the steak in the air. Or later, I would actually go out and just kind of sit with him every now and then and just sit and enjoy the atmosphere, smelling that great smell everybody in the neighborhood knew when he was cooking, which was pretty often. And that's why I love endorsing Andrea's, because it is tied to my childhood, it is tied to memories. And I love making new memories at Andrea's Steakhouse as well. He's a great cook. And so great cooks across the state, across the Midwest, really across the world, use Andrea's sauce because they know it's very unique. I've said before, a lot of area butchers will suggest and carry Andrea's sauce and say, here, take this with you when you get your meat. But if you're just an amateur like me, you can also get a bottle and just put it on your burgers and things, and just makes it so much better so quick. So get a bottle of Andrea's sauce at Schnucks or Dierberg's or at Andreas.com.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast, What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Camping season is here, and it's time to get out and love the outdoors, starting with Apache Village RV at our open house in Hazelwood and our newest location in Wentzville. Join us on Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd in Hazelwood at 9001 Dunn Road just off Highway 270 and in Wentzville at 971 Wilmer Road just off Highway 70. Apache Village RV has been family-owned for 50 years, helping families create a lifetime of memories. Stop by our open house and check out over 200 new and used RVs from the top manufacturers like Jayco, Keystone, Fleetwood, and Bontrager Outdoors. Financing available with camper payments as low as $160 per month with approved credit. We will have raffles for prizes at both locations, huge RV savings, food, and drinks. Mention this ad and that you heard it on 97.1, and you can enter for a chance to win $500 to our parts store. Apache Village RVs. Commitment to you starts when you enter the door. Go one better. Go Apache Village RV.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Now is a great time to be a home seller in the St. Louis market. Home values are up an average of 2.2% year over year, which means you can take advantage of high prices in a low inventory market. But you should act fast. Start by talking to St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. While the average realtor sells 4 to 5 homes a year, Gloria has sold nearly 400 homes in the last 2. Plus, Gloria sells faster and for more money. Gloria is so confident she'll guarantee to sell your home at a price acceptable to you, or Gloria will buy it. It may seem like a good idea to use that discount realtor or that friend who sells a few homes a year. It could literally cost you thousands of dollars. Worse, your home may not even sell. My advice, call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Joe on YouTube says, I feel like the AFS jinxed me by saying no in this poll. Don't want to go out and drive now. Well, I don't want to jinx people, but I do want to know if you have had a flat tire in 2025. Yes, no, or you've had more than one. I'm a more than one. Brad said he's had one. Trisha and Ryan, not yet. We're not going to talk about Ryan's tire problems, though, because there are gross words involved.
Mm-hmm. My tire was moist.
Oh, gosh. I got pulled over today.
Did you?
Yeah.
But why?
You want to talk about it?
I would like to hear. Were you speeding?
Yeah. I haven't even told Jared this. Jared?
You want me to call him?
Yeah.
Just hold the phone up while you talk.
I had a meeting this morning, 10%, a 10 o'clock appointment. And there's so much stuff going on the road that I live on right now, because they're curbing everything, and they're putting in sidewalks and bike paths or something. I don't know. And I was delayed in leaving because I was kind of trying to see what was going on at the house, because there are people in my yard frequently marking things and everything. Dog's going crazy. So I was late to leave, and I'm driving on the road, and it's a 4-lane road with a turn lane in the middle of it. And there aren't really that many places to turn off here. And it's right off the highway, the Interstate 270. So I think the speed limit is 40. It might be 45. This is part of my problem. And I'm driving, and I look over, and there's a police officer. So my next immediate action is to look down and see how fast I'm going. And I was going 59.
Okay.
59 is too fast in a 40. Yeah. In between towns. It's not like there's schools it's not a school crossing or anything, but I was definitely going over. I looked at the police officer sitting in his car. I looked at my speedometer and I said out loud, I'm getting pulled over. And then his wheels started to move. So I just pulled off in the next parking lot and pulled into a spot. And I was just like, you come get me right here. And he did. And he walked up to my car and I had the window down. I think he probably knew that I was feeling kind of guilty because I completely conceded immediately. And this is the craziest part of all of this. Our insurance cards were laying on the counter in the kitchen. And I was making my Greek yogurt in the morning.
Like you do.
Like I do. I was going to explain my yogurt, but I'll pass. I looked to the side of where I was making the yogurt and there's the car insurance cards. We got new ones. And I'm like, I should probably put those in my cards. Do you know how many times we've gotten new cards and I find them after we've gotten other new cards in a stack of mail somewhere and they never make it into my vehicle?
4?
All of the other times.
Oh.
Like this might be the first time where I was like, I should put that in insurance. I have insurance. Sometimes I don't have proof of insurance, which is the problem. And this morning I cut right through the middle of it. One for my husband's car, one for my car. I'm like, I should put that in the car. I should put that in the glove compartment. But I was in a hurry, so I just set it on the car seat next to me. I mean, it was like unwrinkled, unfolded, anything, just sitting right next to me. So I pulled in, got my real ID out, which I now have finally, and picked the insurance up. And I had him in my hand and I rolled down the window and he's like, he walks up to me, he's smiling.
I picture you holding both of those things, just smiling like it's the Black Hole Sun video at him.
I don't know what that means.
Hello.
And he walked up, he's like, hey, I'm sorry. And he goes, I'm not giving tickets today. I'm just giving warnings, trying to get people to slow down. I go, well, I really appreciate that because I deserve one. And he goes, yeah, it's pretty easy to drive fast here. He goes, I'll just run this stuff and I'll be right back. And then he ran it and he came back and he goes, have a good day, Miss Annie. And then that was the end of it. And I didn't get a ticket and I will not speed there anymore. And I am so grateful that he handled that the way it was because I know that I was driving too fast. I knew immediately. But when I saw him, do you know what this is like? When I saw him, I was like, I have no idea how fast I'm driving. It wasn't like I knew that I was, but I mean, that's an explanation, not an excuse, which is what I say to my kids all the time. That's the why, but that doesn't make it okay.
I tell this story all the time. I had left my phone at work and you had it. Do you remember this? This is
at the powerhouse in Union Station. Yeah, I totally remember.
You had
this.
my phone and we connected through Facebook that you had it. And I was driving so fast to go get it. Just up. It was 157 and police officer comes down a hill and I look down and I'm like, shoot. So he pulls me over. I know he's going to, and he walks up and he's like, hey, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, yes, I was speeding, but I didn't see you there. He just kind of like,
you're like, because you're really good at your job and I was really bad at driving.
I'm like, I am really sorry, but I did not see you. And he kind of chuckled and I'm like, and I also don't have my phone or my insurance card. And he's like, wow. And I'm like, but I am really
and that
sorry.
killed a man.
I am really sorry. And he just kind of laughed. He's like, you know what? Slow down, go get your phone and have a nice day. I'm like,
oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Did you slow down after that?
I did. Yeah, it worked. And I got a good story about it.
One of you guys asked a question. It might've been Ethan in our X's and Y's segment. Why do girls cry when to get out? What was the question? Why do girls cry to get out of tickets? Or why do girls?
Or is it a tactic or something like that?
Do they actually do it?
Was that your question?
I don't remember. Maybe. I'm still curious about it though.
The first thought I had was, how am I going to handle this? And then I was like, you're not going to handle it. Just take it. Just take whatever they bring to you. Is that the right way to do it? Okay, Ryan, if you get pulled over and you know you were speeding, how are you handling the situation?
I think I probably am going to put on a little show, you know? They're going to walk up and I'll be like, hey,
unbutton the top button.
Back the blue, my man. You're looking at the guy who backs the blue. That's what I start with. And then we go into all the flags that I have with the back blue line
like
on
red
them.
Flags?
Yeah. Other laws that I've broken that were worse.
Grammar.
Yep. Like you're
like, this isn't even
if you
bad,
think
sir.
This is bad. You don't even want to know about the money laundering.
How do you really handle it?
I just sort of sit there and I just kind of laugh because it's a goofy situation. I just wait to see what the mood the guy's in.
Awkward laugh.
It's a super awkward situation because you don't everything. They have all the power. If you know you were doing something wrong, they have all the power. And what I appreciate, and this is it, obviously because I didn't get a ticket, but what I appreciate is we're trying to get people to slow down. And you know, the act of pulling me over, which I deserve to be pulled over and could not have, like, I was speeding. It's just the way it was. The act of trying to get people to slow down, what he did will get me to slow down there and pay more attention. And if you're trying to make money off of the locals, then you write the tickets. If they run my stuff, I don't have anything on my record. So if they run my stuff and they see that I speed all the time and I'm still not paying attention, I've gotten tickets or whatever, then that's a different scenario. But I appreciate that they were willing to send a message and that the message was the most important thing.
Would you ever cry to get out of a ticket?
I would never intentionally try to cry to get out of a ticket. But if I were super stressed out in a moment, I might start crying.
Could tip you over.
Like for me, for instance, this week has been a very stressful week for me. And it's not bad stress. It's just a lot all at once. Like in the midst of Friday going to Chicago for the Red Gala. And then we had the rally on Sunday. And then that night I flew to DC. And then I flew back from DC on Wednesday morning, did the show here. We had a track meet and a baseball game that night. The baseball game got rained out. The track meet didn't get rained out until we stood there for 45 minutes. And then last night we had a doubleheader and a spring concert, a doubleheader for Charlie in Sauget, a spring concert for the two girls at their school. It's just a super lot. Like after he approached me and was really not a jerk about any of it. And honestly to say, if he would have written me a ticket, that doesn't inherently make him a jerk. Yeah. It's not the fact that he let me off, but I felt an immense amount of mercy in that moment. And I did kind of get a little like in the moment about it. And I'm like, I cannot cry here. Like, then I'm going to be the girl who cried while she got pulled over. I cannot do that. But that was a emotional reaction to a little grace and mercy that I didn't deserve, but I was very grateful to have. Brad, how are you reacting when you get pulled over? And how often do you get pulled over?
I don't even want to say because I don't want to jinx myself.
It's a ton.
It's usually
Reagan Street.
all the time. I do not cry. It's like, yeah, you got me.
I'll cry to get out of anything.
I know
we knew
you will,
that.
right?
That's why we didn't know.
This play is really boring.
No,
I start crying.
Yeah, I usually just, I get my identification and my insurance card out and ready. And they're like, do you know how fast you were going? And I'm like, 140. And they're like, no. And then I slide them a 50. And I'm like, are you sure it wasn't 140?
It's a weird story.
You don't usually BS like that.
I don't think I'm doing this right. I was going 59 and it was a 40, maybe a 45, but I'm not really sure.
It wasn't 140 because I need some street cred, my man.
I had to get to Walgreens really fast.
And they're like, bribes, we love those.
Write me the ticket and then I hang it on the wall. No. I usually just try to be as polite as I can. I'm sorry. Was in a hurry. To be honest with them, whatever the situation was. Now, I didn't see that sign there saying it was 35. I thought it was 45, that sort of thing. But
is that a lie?
No.
That sounds like a good lie.
Ask that.
One time it was a back road in Freeburg. I got pulled over and the cop was mad. And he's like, do you know what the speed limit is? I don't remember. He was mighty though. And he pulled me over and got it. He turned around, came out, started yelling at me. He's like, do you know what the speed limit is here?
Going,
and I was
mighty.
Like, it's an unmarked back road. I thought that, an unmarked road. I thought that defaulted to 55. That was my understanding.
This is a 25, sir.
And he said, it's 35 miles an hour. And I was like, there's not a sign here saying that. And he's like, it's right back there.
So you argue with him and then you gave him a thumbs down.
I gave him the thumbs down. And he went back. He actually did go back and look at and he's like, no, that sign was obstructed. Slow down. Here's your ticket.
Brad goes,
Ryan,
that was a 25, huh? You sure it wasn't a 50?
Brad's story is about getting pulled over and correcting the cop, and the cop's like, yes, sir.
You're right.
Let me look up the law here in this province.
You know what? I'll
right attitude.
You do what you're doing.
Brian
sir.
is going to try that next time, and Trisha, you're going to have to get him out of jail.
Yes. Or we leave him there to teach him a lesson.
Yo, the last time I got pulled over, man, I'm so mad. And if you live in Marine, Illinois, I'm calling you out right now.
I've got a lot of people.
What do they got? Like 2 cops?
Yeah, like 4 of them.
Because there's one road.
Were you going to Highland?
I don't even remember. I was going through Marine for some reason, and I was on 143. It's the main road.
Yeah, that's the road.
The road. And there's a section of that road that drops to 25 miles an hour
for
about
people like
3
you.
car lengths. It says school zone. All of a sudden, you're like, hey, I'm in a school zone.
It's right next to the school, bro.
It doesn't last long enough for you to say I'm in a school zone.
But the school
not
is
at the
on the
speed you're
road.
going.
It wasn't even school. It was like summer. It didn't even matter.
Summer school.
And the guy
What
is
about
like,
the
you know how
children's
fast
school
you're going? I'm like,
buses,
yeah, I know how fast I was
crossing
going
guards?
because I went right by that freaking sign at like 50.
Did you say to like Brad, if you're gonna want to go check that sign back there, I think you'll understand the
That is
situation
not how
better.
that went down.
Nah, I got a better way of doing that. I said, I think is your boot untied? And then I just peeled out.
And he goes, "Oop!"
And he goes, well, doggone it, my boot is untied. And by the time he got done untying it, I was in Highland.
I was out of his jurisdiction.
Well, I don't even know if it was Maryville or Glen Carbon Police. I'm sorry. I've learned my lesson. I won't do it again. I hope. In front of you in the Trisha method.
I think just honesty is the key.
Come vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Have you had a flat tire in 2025? Yes, no, or you've had more than one. We'll wrap this up with the results when we come back. We've got 250 votes so far, and I can't wait to find out what shakes out in the yes-no percentage here. Leave us your comments as well, and we'll feature some of those on your flat tire scenarios when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Coming up after Annie today, we've got the Reardon Roundtable. Brad Young is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. And of course, in 4, Paul Hall talks movies, and we've got sports, and of course, Sue's News.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar. And maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now, but all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes, and find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us, and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. You want the best for your parents, but making the right senior living choice can feel overwhelming. Let me make it easier. New Perspective in Weldon Spring is where older adults can thrive, not just reside. At New Perspective, your loved one will enjoy chef-prepared meals, engaged activities, state-of-the-art technology, and a welcoming community that feels like home. You'll have peace of mind knowing that they have care available when they need it. Visit npseniorliving.com to schedule a tour today. New Perspective, where every day is a chance to to live life on purpose.
The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is coming back to St. Louis on May 7th. Join us at Energizer Park for the round of 32 as St. Louis City SC hosts Union Omaha and plays for the historic trophy. Get tickets now at stlcitysc.com/Open Cup.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com. Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
We've told our stories. Have you had a flat tire in 2025? We want to hear your story. You have...
It's poetic.
You have about 9 minutes.
What is that?
We told our story.
It's like a trailer.
It's like a Crypt Keeper.
Sci-fi movie.
They're going to make a movie out of this show one day. This one.
How does it end?
Friday, May 2.
Are you going to make it?
Yeah, they're going to be like, wow. It'll be very dramatic, and it'll be starring Jason Statham. YouTube live chat poll, have you had a flat tire in 2025? And that's, by the way, the name of the movie. YouTube live chat poll, have you had a flat tire in 2025? 2:48, this time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Everybody's hometown.
Katie on the YouTube channel says, yes, I was in Chicago on a kid's school trip without my husband, and I'm incredibly grateful for the other parents also on that trip. I don't know what I would have done without their help. I was one of those parents. I remember that, Katie. That was in a basketball trip. But yeah, she got a flat tire, and I think that was after we had just gotten 1 or 2 of ours. The YouTube live chat poll, if you could decipher that time check there that Ryan just did, is asking you if you've had a flat tire in 2025. Ethan, I don't think you've been in here when we talked about this. Have you had one yet?
I have not. The last time that I had a flat tire, I'm rolling a year and a half now, I think. So I'm in pretty good shape here.
Mark says, oh man, for the flat tire question, yes, I've had 2 nails in my tire already this year, and I don't even work construction anymore. That's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I don't know why I'm picking them up, but it is nails. When the tire's low or flat, they go over and they go, oh yeah, you got a big screw or something in your tire, and you know what happened.
We have not addressed this yet. It needs to be addressed.
Okay.
When the weather changes, usually it's when it gets cold. Why does your air pressure sensor always come on and you fill up your tires and it never goes off, and it doesn't matter which car it is, it's always the same?
Ryan, are you resetting the air pressure sensor?
No, I'll answer for him. No,
Yep.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even know what you just said.
Some you have to reset, some you don't.
You don't
In your Mazda, I bet you
know that.
In your Mazda, I bet you have to reset it.
Of course I'm doing that.
No, you're not.
I reset it every day. Every day I get in there and I reset my lights.
Every day.
You just said it never comes off.
I go, reset.
Bobo asked earlier on the show, what was your least favorite meal from childhood? Any unusual favorites? I recall very vividly when the blue, was it Starkist or something else, fish sticks box came out.
What?
Fish sticks? Did you have fish sticks growing up?
Yes. I know what fish sticks are.
Is this the root of your issue with seafood? Is this where it started?
I believe it is. My dad doesn't eat seafood. So I grew up in a household where nobody was making my dad eat seafood. So I could get away with saying I'm not eating it either. And I always remember my dad saying, people would be like, oh, just eat it. It tastes just like chicken. He goes, then I'll have chicken. Which I'm like, that makes a lot of sense to me. But fish sticks is, and I understand what everybody is screaming at your radio right now, but fish sticks is my understanding of seafood. And I can't get past it.
Do you still like fish sticks?
I never have liked.
Never liked fish sticks.
Never
Okay.
liked it. Didn't like the smell of them. Didn't like the feel of them. Did you have to finish your meal? First of all, did you have home cooked meals when you were growing up regularly? And did you have to clean your plate?
We didn't have to completely clean our plate, but you know, we could push the corn around a little bit. I think get away with
Is
it.
that a euphemism?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know.
Resetting the lights on your car.
Anywho, Ethan, did you have home cooked meals growing up?
Almost every night.
Did you have to finish your plate?
Yes.
Was your plate made for you for a long time, or did you get to make your own plate?
Made for me in large part. Yeah.
And you had to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there until it's gone?
Yeah.
Anything you'd protest?
Not hardcore.
Not really.
Like vegetables on the occasion, but you know, I think deep down I knew that, like, you know, mom's making me eat them because they're good for me.
Oh, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about a mom.
Hold on.
I love that.
Way deep down. That doesn't mean that they would, like, you know, get the belt out and like fasten it to the chair at times, you
Wait,
know, like
what?
Yeah.
What now?
She's doing this for my own
I
good.
think, does this have to do with pushing the corner?
No,
around?
I would try getting up and leaving, and they'd be like, all right, you keep getting up. We're just gonna, you know,
They would tie you down and put the food in your mouth?
Because he's a freaking AD.
No.
That's why.
They would fasten me to the chair like with a belt.
That's what I just said. They was tying you down.
There was just a way for me to not get
Man,
up.
this was so sweet when he was like, my mom wanted me to do it, and I
Well,
thought that
you
was
guys,
good.
So if I didn't, they would get all the belts out.
parents
and
are
tie you
just
down
so
by the
mad
neck.
at you.
I wanted to make sure that, you know, if they were listening, that they weren't hearing that I was an angel child or anything, because that was not the case.
I would have stuck with the first part and just sorted that out in private.
Yeah. I mean, I was amazing, and mom forced me
Ethan out
to
here
eat a lot
trauma
of
dumping.
food, and
After I got tied down with all the belts, I thought, you know what? Maybe my mom's right about the vegetables. Maybe I should eat my corn.
corn's not a vegetable.
Maybe I'll eat some butternut squash tomorrow.
Brad,
because
did you
I
have
hate
to
squash.
eat all your food?
I never had to be told to eat all my food.
Okay. The story is evolving.
Yeah,
with each individual
I
person.
got to 3:30, honestly. It was never finish your plate. Mm-mm. It was
Where'd the
sit
plate
back
go?
down. You've had two already.
Brad, the plate is not edible.
Brad is the person who introduced me to the word chunky.
Chunky.
The plate is not edible. Quit trying to eat it, Brad.
Any fish stick stories for you guys? Any least favorite meals that would get eaten? Am I on my own now?
No,
Come back to me.
no, you're not. But I did. There was a least favorite meal.
What was it?
And I'm so sorry to say this because my mom would make it with a lot of love, but she would stuff bell peppers with
love
hamburger. And oh gosh, whenever it was bell pepper stuffed night, I was like, man, I think maybe I might just go outside and eat grass.
I'd rather die.
You just gave it to Brad.
I'd eat that.
Where's Brad? Just throw it up in the air and hope Brad was near.
Yeah, I had a hollow leg.
That boy's got a hollow leg.
More
He's eating
from
all the cutlery.
More from this category. Bobo wants to know favorite donut. Mine is a cake donut with white icing.
Cake donuts, blueberry cake donuts.
Have you tried by Casey's blueberry donut situation?
Mm-mm.
If you eat a blueberry cake donut from Casey's general store, and follow it by Diet Coke, Fountain Diet Coke, it tastes exactly like skunk smell.
You weren't selling me
No.
before that.
Are you okay?
No, I promise you should. If I bring it in next week, will you guys try it?
Only if somebody straps me down with a bunch of belts.
I'll call my mom now. See if she's free.
I'm gonna be walking out of the house with all of Jared's belts. He's gonna be, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's for Ryan.
My apologies, everybody. I actually do like blueberry donuts and Diet Coke.
You have to try this. It's absolutely wild. I got a cake donut with white icing, but it turned out it was blueberry, and I didn't know that. And I had a Diet Coke. This is years ago. And I tasted the combination of that, and it was wild. People go try it. And then video it and like hashtag it and make it a viral trend.
This is the stuff Annie did instead of drugs.
Flat tire pull, Ethan.
Oh
you have
yeah,
a job.
that's where I have to do like my one thing of the show.
False.
262 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Have you had a flat tire in 2025? Not as close as I think any of you perhaps would have thought. 74% say no, 23% say yes, and only 3% say that they've had more than one flat tire in 2025.
But that's 26% saying yes, they have.
That's a lot.
That's over 1 in 4 people. I think that's a lot.
That hit my criteria for a lot.
Yeah. All right. Let me know if you're in on my conspiracy. Stick around for the Mark Reardon Show next on 97.1 FM Talk.
So beat the drum
when you're hiring. Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need.